Well, hello everybody. Welcome to an earlier stream than normal, but not that much earlier. We're gonna be doing something new. Let's see. We're gonna be playing a game I got as a gift from my friend David. I think he got it in a Humble Bundle or something, and I was just like, huh, that sounds weird. I'm gonna play it on stream. So we are gonna be playing apparently a noir game called Chicken Police Paint It Red. So let's get over to the yeah, gateway furry stuff. Yeah, totally. So let's do this. I'm gonna make sure that it's actually picking the game up. Please. Maybe? Yeah, okay. I had to change one thing. I mean, it is kind of like a gateway furry thing. It's a little loud for my poor ears. I mean, as always, let me know how audio and stuff is. Yeah. If the film grain gets to be too much for the whole game, let me know. I don't want it to like lag or anything. Dead men are heavier than broken hearts.
I ran out to get a pack of cigarettes, but I left my wallet at home. Yeah, that's me. I'm getting old.
Me too, brother.
My name is Sonny Featherland, an investigator for 20 years, and once the star of the predatory division of the Clawville Police Department, one half of the legendary Chicken Police. But buying a pack of smokes is more than I can handle right now. Maybe I should just lay low. Yeah, I'll do that. The most colorful place in the wilderness. For all the gods, what bullshit. The last clucking color left this city years ago. And slowly I'll turn gray too.
Huh. So the color actually left.
We're living in a vast experiment, and don't even notice that everything got clucked up a long time ago. We believe in this wonderland of peaceful coexistence. Wolves and sheep, chickens and hounds. Yeah, sure, why not? It's just ridiculous.
I don't know.
The dog eats the chicken. It's in our nature. I'm not propping up the illusion anymore. 121 days, and it's over. Retirement. What could possibly go wrong?
Well, hello there.
Ah, crap. My office lock is a piece of shit if a dame can pick it. She stood in the darkness. The light painted stripes on her body. It whispered secret little things that were never there in the first place. But she was no zebra. Reality was just a light switch away. Elizabeth or Charlotte? I was sure she'd have a sophisticated sounding name. She had a bygone look in her eyes, older than this ancient building, and perhaps the whole city itself. Or maybe I'm just drunk. But she was the first womanly thing in my place for a long time, so I had to give her a chance.
Huh. Okay, I'm in love with this so far. And I don't know if... Ooh. It's a little jumpy. Maybe it's because I'm drunk. Because it's like wobbling and whatnot. But I'm not sure if he actually means that
I wanted to travel the world when I was
the color actually left.
But I think I'm gonna end up dead in here, whether I like it or not. My last cigarette. You're lucky I don't have a light, pal. My wallet and my badge. The wallet is real. The badge ain't. Chief Bloodboil took mine. So I got this one out of a pack of cornflakes. Just in case. She doesn't seem so dangerous that I need to grab my gun, but you never know.
You never know indeed. You guys can see my cursor, right? Like just going around. Just making sure. We do this live. Okay,
I promised
good.
myself I'd write a novel one day.
Huh.
Every whiskey has the same color nowadays. At least in this price range. Books I'm never gonna read. Maybe nobody ever has. I don't even know where the key is. Whatever's inside is gonna stay there forever. The Wild Gentlemen. Those guys rebuilt the city after the Great Fire of 867. My heroes when I was a little chick. I'm starting to think they should have left Clawville as it was, burned to the ground.
So the year is, it's not like 20 whatever, it's like literally 867. So this is a young world.
We used to be star cops a few years ago. Tabloid press, radio interviews, and even a book series. I don't miss those days. Of course, Marty, my old partner, would disagree. He just loved the spotlight. This is one of the most beautiful memories from my old life, before Molly left me and took our daughter.
Aww. It's the year of our Lord Jesus Crow. I love it.
M.B. Davis, the eternal king of jazz. The photo is from the days of jazz prohibition. I only heard the old man live one time, but I'll never forget that night. And not only because I woke up at the harbor without my gun, my badge, and my pants. The good things in life don't last long. The best ones always leave first. I saw that in the window of a shoe store. I never understood it, or what it had to do with shoes.
There's like a paper crane there. Okay. Oh, okay. It tells you what exactly.
I don't even know what these papers are.
Phone. I don't need to call anybody right now. Is that everything? City.
I don't see colors anymore. Only emptiness. Everything faded. I need another drink. Behind that door lies the kingdom of dirty clothes, cigarette butts, and empty bottles.
This music. Speak?
Let me introduce myself. My name is Deborah, Miss Deborah Ibanez.
You're mistaken, ma'am.
Oh, really? Please enlighten me, Mr. Featherland.
I'm not a private eye. I'd recommend Mr. Philmar Lowe instead of me. He's a nice guy.
Believe me, Mr. Featherland, it's not an accident I came to you.
Look, miss, I work for the police, and I'm currently on leave. I couldn't accept private commissions even if I wanted to. Not even from a classy dame like you.
Am I that easy to read?
That's my job. But tell me, since you've invited yourself in, would you like a drink?
What is she doing?
I don't usually drink.
Well, I've got to have one. And it'd be rude of me to drink alone. So, maybe some sherry?
If you insist. But bourbon, please.
Damn.
Thank the wild ones. That's all I have.
What a coincidence.
So come on, spill it from the beginning.
You gonna play? No? Damn. Okay. Oh, because it was a cutscene.
That's better. Now Now, if I understand correctly, your mistress is receiving threats. What kind of threats exactly?
It's a very strange matter. First, there were letters. Then it came printed on a wine bottle's label, sent as a gift. Then carved into a brick, thrown through the window. And finally, they painted it on the wall of the house in giant red letters.
I think it's time to dig a little deeper. If you don't mind, I'd like to ask you some routine questions.
Please, that's why I'm here.
Ooh! That animation was clean. The Notebook. The Notebook is the detective's best friend. Here you gather vital information about the case, the suspects or victims, and the locations you will visit. How does it work? Click on any text or picture in your notebook to read the translated version in your language. The victim is a lady. The victim, a lady, is the target of some strange threat. All of them are written. Name, Deborah Ibanez. Species, Impala. Gender, female. Special feature, pretty and fragile, nothing too special. She runs errands for her employer, a sophisticated lady, but I don't think she's from a particularly wealthy or influential family. Hotel Atlas. This used to be a nice place, and now we're competing who gets swallowed by decay first. The hotel's winning, but honestly I'm not that far behind. The Chicken Police is a famous detective duo. Santino, Sonny, Featherland, and Marty McChicken gained fame through a case the press called the Bloody New Year's Eve. They flew high for almost 10 years when a fateful brawl put an end to their legend. There is a series of novels about them by Meredith H. Marble. They had published 10 books over the course of 7 years before the series faded out of public interest, as did the Chicken Police itself. City of Clawville. Clawville's been an independent city-state for more than 900 years. During the city's foundation, 4 nations had joined forces, represented by the 4 animal figures and the 4 hands on the crest of Clawville. In reality, the tribal alliance of the reptiles and the great insect clans had also played an essential part in the city's founding, but they never got to be represented on the crest. This gave birth to a political and cultural antagonism between the species. Clawville preserved its political autonomy and the dream that it's the only city-state in the wilderness where predator and prey of any race can live in peace. Hence the name, the City of 1,000 Colors. The Wild Ones. The 3 gods are revered in most places across the wilderness. They're the Great Wild Ones, who make up the holy trinity of creation, destruction, and silence. Harati is the goddess of creation. Kat-Ti is the lord of destruction, and Knavat-Titi is the genderless ghost of silence and nothingness, keeping the balance between creation and destruction in their never-ending conflict. Damn! The inventory. Here you will store all the essential items throughout the case. My gun. My badge.
Ironic, but ever since I've been on furlough, with only my fake badge sitting in my cabinet, I feel more like a cop than I ever had before. More like a Clawville cop, anyway. I haven't dusted you off in a while, partner. Looks like I may be needing you now. Oh man, I totally get you.
Alright, let's do some questioning. Focus on you know what about the subject. Is he or she suspicious? Concentrate on that. Huh. Okay. He is suspicious? I am suspicious. Why are you suspicious? Gather impressions from the subject. Every impression adds a new question line. A new impression, questions, so many options. Detective meter is your best friend. It shows how well the questioning is going. Keep it on the positive side, okay? I love this. I love this. Blah, blah, blah. I like that. Plus 100.
I must be cautious and smart. This dame seems shy, which I can use to my advantage. But I must be careful about what I say to her, or I could scare her off. Let's start gently, and when the time comes, we can go in hard.
That's what he said.
Who exactly are you, ma'am?
I'm not somebody important, Mr. Featherland.
You're important enough to deal with such a delicate matter, right?
I carry out the wishes of my employer, nothing more. This means simple paperwork, most of the time.
You've been thrown into deep water, sweetheart. Tell me, can you even swim?
Believe me, this is just as unpleasant for me as it is for you, if not even more.
What do you think? I feel like this one might be good, but I don't know. Because she isn't confident at all. She's also missing part of her ears. I didn't even realize that. So... yeah, that's the one I was thinking.
You're not very confident. Are you sure you're all right?
Yes. Excuse me. I'm just a bit nervous. I've never done anything like this before.
Breaking into the apartments of strangers isn't that big a deal. Some people do it as a hobby.
Please don't make fun of me, Mr. Featherland. This is hard for me as it is.
You're right. Sorry.
Oof. Tell me what's your star sign. I guess, did you come alone?
Did you come alone? All by yourself?
I took the subway, then the tram, and then I walked. It wasn't easy to find this place, and to be honest, I had to be discreet.
Yeah, well, I think I'm starting to get the picture.
This is quite unpleasant for me.
Yeah. Yeah, she didn't need to break in. Why did you come to visit me? Why not her employer? I'm gonna say this one.
Why did you come to visit me? Why not your employer herself?
My employer is Miss Natasha Katsenko. She hasn't been leaving her home lately, only if she really has to.
How so?
Miss Natasha is afraid. She's scared because of those unwanted messages, and everyone knows who she is.
So she's that kind of woman.
I don't know what you mean.
Of course you do, Deborah. Thank you, by the way. We're finally getting somewhere. We avoided the point long enough. Deborah's hiding something, no question. Let's focus on that.
It's either, how did you get this address, or what exactly did you expect by coming here to meet me? Those are the two that I think. I don't think this one's good. Yeah. Maybe the how did you get this address? Because, I mean, he's not really known. I'm gonna ask that.
How did you get this address?
You know, my mistress has exceptional connections.
If they were so exceptional, she wouldn't have chosen me.
Don't be so hard on yourself, Detective. You are the head of the famous chicken police. Am I right?
Was it a raccoon with a scarred face called Zip who recommended me? He hates me.
No, Mr. Featherland. I don't know anyone like that.
Lucky for you, Deborah.
Alright, I'm gonna go with my second one.
What exactly did you expect by coming here to meet me?
I expected your help, just like my mistress said.
Well, that's very nice. But have you seen this neighborhood? Have you seen this wreck called a hotel? Who were you hoping to find in a place like this?
Someone reliable.
Well, I am reliable.
And discreet.
That's right.
And thorough.
No question about that.
And has a heart of gold.
Okay, let's stop it right there.
It's either this one or this one, but I think it's in... Are you in some sort of jam? Because this... I'm not doing that. I need to take the case. I feel like Are You in Some Sort of Jam would be a little more... Yeah. I'll try that.
Are you in some sort of jam?
Nothing of the sort. There are simply things better left unsaid.
Then you're wasting my time.
I trust your instincts. You'll manage it.
Yeah, and I have no other choice, right?
To be honest, no, Mr. Featherland. Not really.
I'm gonna go with, don't you think this whole thing is a little suspicious?
Don't you think this whole thing is a little suspicious?
Look, Santino, I'll explain everything.
I have no doubt about that. You look just the type, sweetheart. No offense.
I'll take that as a compliment. Or maybe I'll act like I haven't heard it.
You see, we're starting to understand each other.
I'm gonna go with the tell me, Deborah. First next to doubt, yeah.
Tell me, Deborah, why should I believe you at all?
Because my mistress trusts you.
Should that be enough?
If you really like what she thinks you are, then yes.
Damn, what can I say to that?
Look, I didn't mean to back you up against the wall.
You have a way with words, sweetheart. Did you ever want to be a cop?
No, not for the world.
Smart answer. Be honest and tell me what you're so afraid of.
You know, Mr. Featherland, my mistress's partner is Hobart Wessler. Or as most people know him...
Ibn Wessler, the Kingpin.
Exactly.
Feathery gods, help me.
So you get it now. The secrecy.
To put it mildly, I think I understand it all. Wessler. This little piece of the puzzle changes everything.
Neato bonito. We'll leave it at that. The legendary chicken police back in action. Still a bit weary, but untarnished. Good work. Report include the employer, Natasha's current significant other, is the infamous gangster Ibn Wessler. The mysterious messenger, Miss Deborah Ibanez's employer, is a certain Miss Natasha Katsenko. Yeah, that's nice. The employer, Natasha's current significant other, is the infamous gangster Ibn Wessler. Alright, so we got new things on Deborah. She's afraid and she's secretive, or she's just secretive and an outstanding actress. In any case, not everything she told me is true. I'm pretty sure about that. Her employer currently bolsters the ranks of Ibn Wessler, to put it mildly. This explains the cloud of fear surrounding Miss Ibanez. Name, Natasha Katsenko. Species, cat. Gender, female. Special feature, she has remarkably green eyes. And she's definitely in trouble. So am I. Yeah, totally. She's the employer of Miss Deborah Ibanez. Allegedly, she's receiving serious threats. Allegedly. Hi, Belle. Currently the girlfriend of the notorious gangster Ibn Wessler. This explains a lot of things, mainly the excessive secrecy. Name, Hobart Ibn Wessler. Species, rat. Special feature, good looking, charismatic, and a clucking gangster. Right? And once you start noticing, like, getting more details, it becomes more fleshed out. It's pretty cool. One of the more well-known gangsters of Clawville. Real estate mogul, bank director, museum owner, distiller, smuggler, and information broker. And that's only half of what I've heard about him. He has his dirty little paws everywhere in the city's underworld. Well then.
Why don't you take it to the police? Just go there and file a report. Photos, flashing lights, fingerprints, you know the drill. The evidence is very clear. Even a moderately talented detective could easily wrap this case up. Or just try the phone. 555-111.
Please, take a look at this.
Well, okay. Let's see.
I got a new item. Let's look at it. I know Molly very well. Please note this when deciding whether or not to accept my assignment. Miss Ibanez is a trusted friend. Treat her as a gentleman. N.
I know Molly very well.
Oh.
Please note this when deciding whether or not to accept my assignment. Miss Ibanez is a trusted friend. Treat her as gentleman. N. I know.
Okay.
I felt like I'd been hit on the back of my head with a blackjack. Reality tilted. Molly. Good gods. What was her name doing there? I glanced at the opposite wall with the well-worn picture frames. Like an eternally dark hole in the wall. A missing piece. She was wearing a light silk dress and singing a lullaby. The waves caressing her beautiful long legs. Why Molly? Why now?
I mean, I'm thinking the same thing.
Mr. Featherland? Santino, are you all right?
What the hell is this supposed to mean?
I don't know anything, Mr. Santino. My mistress told me to give this to you. She said you'd understand. Don't you?
Oh, of course I understand, Miss Ibanez. I get it very well. But this case is becoming more and more confusing. It's starting to look like blackmail.
Blackmail?
Don't play innocent with me.
But...
All right. When can I visit?
Visit? Me?
Not you. Miss Katsenko.
Oh, yes. You can find her at the Tsar Club.
Didn't you tell me she's not the social kind? That she's especially unsociable? Or does she only like loud and crowded clubs?
No, she's really not like that. But she owns the place.
I mean...
Judging by the flyer, it must be a very busy club. Especially on New Year's Eve, right?
I'm sure you'll have no trouble finding Miss Katsenko, but there's one small problem, Mr. Featherland.
Let me guess. Mr. Wessler better not know about my visit.
Exactly. How did you know?
No way.
20 years experience, ma'am. Oh, and please, call me Sonny.
It was a pleasure to meet you, Sonny.
I'll talk about the rest with Miss Katsenko in person. A good friend of mine would be happy to take you home if you'd like.
What?
I'd appreciate that, Sonny.
Find Natasha at the Tsar Club. Natasha must know my wife Molly from somewhere, or perhaps she has very good informants. I must find out what the connection is. Yeah, I agree. She owns the Tsar Club. Lewis C. Hayworth. Species, rabbit. Gender, male. Special feature, an old friend of mine. He is stuttering heavily when he talks. Lewis is the owner of the once reputable Atlas Hotel and a good friend of mine. At the moment, he's my landlord. It's only the two of us living in this unbelievably enormous hotel. He's crazy about detective stories, and he gladly helps me whenever I ask him. Okay, so Lewis's number, let me get a piece of paper. Lewis is 555932. Places the Tsar Club, one of the most famous nightclubs in the city. Owners of the juiciest booties and the hardest fists frequent this place. It's famous for not serving cops, except if they're knee deep in the dirt. Alright, so let me call. This number is 555932.
Hey, Lewis. Am I bothering you?
No. Of course not, Sonny. Old friend, what's up?
Could you come over? I've got a favor to ask if you're not busy.
For you, anything. Just a minute.
Ugh, I love this. I love this.
Lewis arrived a few minutes later. He lived in the rooms above, so it wasn't difficult getting here. Not to mention that he's a rabbit. It was a quick hop. The Atlas Hotel was his inheritance. It was once a well-renowned place, but not anymore. The last economic crisis ruined it. And now, besides me, he was the only resident of this enormous place. The good old rabbit. I can always count on him, even on New Year's Eve. Thanks for being so quick, Lewis. Can you drive Miss Ibanez home? I have some things to take care of.
Of course, Sonny. You know, anything for you.
Thank you for being so considerate, Sonny. I appreciate it.
Don't mention it.
Goodbye, then.
So long, Deborah. Before I visit the club, I have to take a detour. I've got a feeling that this case isn't going to be a one-man job. And there's only one bird in this city I can trust. My ex-partner, Marty. He's going to be at the station. I can only hope he'll be willing to talk to me.
Let's hope. Let's hope. Alright. Sorry, guys. Scene types. Main scenes. Main scenes are move the story forward. These scenes also determine which locations open up or close down. You need to complete all of these if you want to beat the game. Limited scenes. Limited scenes are open for a specific duration, which is determined by the main story progression. If you're a completionist, be sure to visit all of them before you move on to the next main scene. Closed scenes. Closed scenes cannot be reached for the time being. This state will often change through the game and change throughout the story progression and can be temporary or permanent. Top tip, pick the next main scene if you are absolutely sure you don't want to visit any of the available limited scenes anymore and you may not be able to visit them later. This is the only place I can go. So let's go!
It was New Year's Eve, and I was driving, half drunk, risking my whole life's work. But still, it didn't feel any different.
I'm sorry, Levy.
Every day was the same. And the 121 days I had left till my retirement seemed like an eternity. When I look out the window of the hotel room I call home, I see the same thing every day. A woman in a red nightgown dances slowly in circles to smooth music. The 9 o'clock show, with a glass of cheap bourbon and the red gown with the silent music. In the meantime, the proud city of Clawville is slowly eating itself alive. And we're still here, with nothing left to lose but our sanity, while others, the smart ones, had already gone. Molly. Does her name really upset me this much? All those years of solitude, and I still jump without question every time I hear it. And then there's Marty, my ex-partner, who hates me. But I know I have to speak with him, no matter what.
Oh, thank you for the raid!
The past is watching me on this goddamn night.
Thank you so much! Hello, raiders! And thank you for the follow! Oh, this made my day. My dog says hi, too.
At the station, we'd always draw straws about holidays.
Oh, thank you for the follow. Thank you so much.
He always took the New Year's Eve shift, even though he
Hello.
had someone to go home to. I understood. 10 years ago.
Oh my God. I'm gonna start crying.
A night the press called the Bloody New Year.
Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday, everybody.
Not by us. We both left parts of ourselves behind that night.
I'm doing good. This was unexpected, but I am doing good. Thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. This actually like made my week. Thank you. For those of you who are just tuning in, I'm playing a game called Chicken Police Painted Red. It's a noir game where you're playing as Sunny Featherland. This gentleman right here. So yeah, we just really started. We just finished pretty much the tutorial. And we're going to see our partner, Marty, who doesn't like us so much right now.
Every time this poster disappears, good old Blood Boil puts it right back immediately.
Huh.
I tore it down at least 3 times already. Actually, it's a kind of passive-aggressive game for us with the chief.
Public service for the crown, for the king. Serve, protect. We need you, citizen. Oops. Wait. I didn't mean to do that. That's what I wanted to do. Look at these! It's a little hedgehog and a porcupine.
Phyllis and Roy's. 2 hedgehogs with an arrogance typical of novice cops. They're as prickly as they look. Officious little shitheads, but harmless.
Thank you for the follow. About me. You want to know about me? Well, it was actually just my birthday Monday. I'm just me. I'm SteenieMo. I play weird games. I also play Final Fantasy 14. Thank you. And usually I have Levy and John in my chat. Thank you. Occasionally you will hear me arguing with any one of my furry kids, which is a lot. I have 4 cats and I have 2 dogs. I might be playing it later on this week. I usually play with John and Levy, aka Malfaka. He also streams. I do guest on his stream a lot, so if you like a lot of cool content, follow him as well. It's all good. It's all good. I also, once I get my office set up, I do miniature painting, and I sell them as well. So you can check out my Twitter or my shop Twitter for any of that. Other than that, yeah, that's me. I'm just a nerdy little bean. But I really appreciate it. This actually really made my week. I sound sappy, but I really do appreciate it. Let's talk to our friends over here.
Well, look at that. Hey, Sonny.
I didn't expect that voice.
Over here. I heard the big boss threw you out.
Tough luck, boys. I may not be on duty, but I'm still a cop, just like you. Well, more than you.
Hey, you don't have to be so peckish, old bud. By the way, you're on luck. Blood Boil's not in tonight. Malloy is in charge.
And yes, I do watch anime. I love some of my favorites are the new series Demon Slayer. I love Ghost in the Shell, SAC, and the second series as well. I don't remember. It's Standalone Complex and the Individual 11. I love Fullmetal Alchemist, Brotherhood and Otherwise. I mean, I just watch a lot of stuff. I'm in the middle of watching the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure stuff. What else? I'm all over the place. Which is kind of why my business is called The Eclectic Menagerie, because it's just an eclectic bunch of stuff. My brain is very eclectic. I like a lot of things. There's not much that I don't like, if we're gonna be quite honest. So like when you tune in, I'm gonna have a variety of stuff. Like I'll be playing this, or I'll be playing Dead Cells, or Hades, or some random dating sim that I just found. Psychopaths I wanted to actually look up. Yeah, anything and everything, a bit of this, a bit of that. Yeah, that's totally me. That's totally me. I think I have both of those on my to-watch list. I haven't watched them yet, though. But yeah, I mean, I love What We Do in the Shadows, which is not an anime, but it's a really good show. Archer, Bob's Burgers. I mean, and then you go to like the campy, weird, classic, you know, CSI or NCIS or whatever, and like I'm all over the place. Awesome. I love new friends. And like I said, if you guys want, like, I mean, I have a Twitter. It's the same thing as my Twitch name. Try to make it easy. And I do post a lot of random stuff on there, but I also post like pictures from Final Fantasy or whatever, what have you. I am on Aether Sargatanis, but I mean, they're doing data center travel now, right? So, oh, good. Awesome. But yeah, I just got a notification for another follow. Thank you. But yeah, we're on a lot. I am on a decent amount. I'm on more now that I have it also on my computer. But we do raids and stuff and whatnot. DC travel soon. Yeah, soon. Hopefully sooner rather than later. Yeah, I'm always up for anything. I'm pretty sweet. Sometimes. I'm not like, you know, whatever. I don't know. I don't know where I was going with this. I went all over the place.
Oh, God. That clumsy buffalo is here tonight. If he doesn't end up in a cell again, he's lucky.
When I'm done streaming, I will follow back to everybody. Oh, it's amazing. I've been playing for 2 years now. Levy started like way back, and I know John's been playing for like ever, and I got hooked. I love it. Lala fell? You're Lala? Nice. The patats.
You got it.
You looking for Marty, eh?
I see you're still the brains around here, Phyllis. Yeah, I'm looking for Marty. Birds of a feather flock together.
I see you're still the funny guy around here. You'll find the giant feather duster at the shooting range, as always.
Hey, Royce, I'm telling you this because maybe you'll be able to understand. If this prickly shithead makes another racist remark, I'll strangle him with his own raincoat.
Jeez. Thanks, Sonny.
I'd love to see that.
Hey, whose side are you on, you jerk?
I love them. Okay, let's see. Okay, new people. Royce. Okay, let's start with Phyllis. Name, Carlton Phyllis. Species, hedgehog. Gender, male. Special feature, I hate him. A real little ass plug. He's too small of a fish in the ocean to be worth bribing. Wow. Name, Mason Royce. Species, porcupine. I'm not gonna say the Latin names. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Gender, male. Special feature. I hate him almost as much as I hate his partner, Phyllis. It's great. This is great. I love this.
Back in the day, I used to patrol the city's streets in one of these. I don't miss it, but
it's okay. It's okay.
It used to have its advantages.
What's the matter? What? Did you want to say hi? You gotta speak louder for them to hear you. Yeah? Say hi. You're tippy tapping. That's Belle. Belle's my more talkative dog, so she'll occasionally go
again.
Howl.
Clawville Police Department. I've never been good at history.
Yeah.
But if I'm not mistaken, this place has been a church, a hospital, and even some insane cult's secret hideout over the years. Anyway, the place holds the secrets of the ages. And some drunk pigs in the basement.
And yes, she sings the song over people. Everybody says hi, Belle. What do you say back? Do you say hi? Thank you. Very polite. So I think that's a hummingbird. You heard it? Good, good. That looks like a monitor lizard. That's a schnauzer. That's a boxer? And then that's a puma, I think. This one I think is a schnauzer, I think. Well, that's what Skylar is, my other dog. She's half schnauzer. She's half schnauzer, half shih tzu, all long wizard dog.
Monica Rosen, receptionist in theory, but in reality, she's doing literally everything around here. Like the beating heart of the PD. She's too good for this place, even for this city.
Let's talk to Monica.
Hey, Monica.
Hey, Boss Bird. What are you doing here? Shouldn't you be celebrating somewhere?
Every day's a holiday since I got out of here.
I can tell.
Just
but
Monica.
What are you doing here? Are you here for a file? You know, I'm a little busy right now.
How do the glasses stay on her face? I will ask that.
Yeah, you could look after a few things for me, but first I'd like to talk to Mr. Big Beak McChicken himself. Those two prickly assholes told me he's emptying the magazines in the hole.
Right? Yeah, it looks like they're gonna fall off her head any minute.
Like always. And if he carries on like that, he's gonna use up all our ammo. So it would be nice if you drag him out of there. You know how this day is for him.
Sorry. the just no. Got me.
For him?
You know I didn't mean it like that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, magic and anime pro tag energy, right?
Okay, so just sign here and you're good to go.
Thank you, darling.
Don't mention it, Boss Bird.
They really did a wonderful job with this. Like,
Marty drinks this
damn.
shit. I've never tried it, but I'm pretty sure it's gross and probably toxic.
Yeah, maybe some super glue. What? Oh. A Chicken Police Story. The Belle of the Pantheress by Meredith H. Marble.
Honor, strength, unity. For the love of the wild gods, I'm gonna be sick. Mort Mardigan, a notorious deadbeat. Poor guy's been blind since his teenage years, but that doesn't stop him from running into trouble. What the cluck did he do this time?
Oh, Mort.
Mort, you scabious beast. What the hell did you do?
It's Morty to you, sonny boy. Everything's fine. There was just a bit of trouble in the bar, and someone got knocked on the head with a glass.
I love him.
It wasn't my fault. I'm as blind as a bat, am I right?
I love him.
Did that ever bother you, Morty?
Listen, sonny boy. Go tell them to leave me alone, eh? It's New Year's Eve, after all, and I didn't even do anything wrong. Not that wrong.
Where's your little lapdog to get you out of this mess? Is that little pimp of a midget still sniffing around you?
Oh my god.
Jesse is a good boy, Sonny. And he's good to me, believe me.
Oh, God, spare me the details. When will you finally realize that little shit's been using you?
Oh, dip.
Oh, of course he's using me. What could a pretty boy like him want from this old monster, eh? Still, Sonny, I have no one else. Do you understand that? Don't you?
Oh.
Even you deserve better, pal. By the way, you look horrible, even for yourself. Are you feeling okay?
Right? I don't know. It's pretty great.
Well, I'm not what I used to be. But neither are you, judging from your voice. But I'm seeing a doctor, sonny boy. I really am. Are you?
Don't need to, Mort. I'm fine. Anyway, if Bubo prescribed you something, don't even think about taking it.
I don't talk to that insane owl.
Damn right.
Please, say something on my behalf.
Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you for the
I
follow.
don't have time for this detective buffalo shit.
Detective Buffalo shit.
Hey, careful with that. Buffalo Malloy is the chief today.
Thank you for the follow as well.
Like I care.
I'll try to speak for you, but keep it down till then, okay? You don't need this shit, and I don't need it either.
Sonny boy, you've always been a good friend.
Oh yeah, it's the little things.
More like a clucking pigeon.
Alright, we're gonna look through our notes though. Ah, I love this. Big and dumb, it resembles my partner Marty a little, except that Royas doesn't have a kind heart. So that changed. Bosco. Let's see. Boscarelli, cowhound, not us. Species, dog. Gender, male. Special feature, they say he is able to devour anything that crosses his path. That's why he got the nickname Chowhound. Nice. Name, Monica Rosen. Species, hummingbird. Gender, female. Special feature, she can watch over thousands of things at once. And she is an angel. That's sweet. The soul and heart of the police department, she is a hummingbird in theory, but many say she is a real angel who fell from the sky. When I used to come to the station daily, her presence was the sugar in my bitter morning coffee. Aww, that's sweet. Let's see. Mort Mardigan. Species, Komodo dragon. Oh, okay. So I was wrong, but it's fine. Gender, male. Special feature, he is old and blind and an unrepairable wreck. Oh. A light-fingered bastard. He is blind as a bat, but also one of the biggest scoundrels this city has ever seen. He could have been a good guy, but got lost somewhere halfway, and now he's too old to save himself. There was some fight in a club where Mort was at. What a surprise. He's an old friend, so I can put him a good word for him. Okay. Lucius Wilford Bloodboil. Species, dog. Gender, male. Special feature, the chief is a real legend. He also hates me. Good to know. Dr. Bubo. Name, Dr. Reginald Bubo. B. Bubo, sorry. I love it. Species, eagle owl. I love that his name is actually... I love it. Gender, male. Special feature, amorphous, neurotic, old, and ugly, but he's an old friend from the golden days of the chick police. Nice. Is that everybody? Yeah, so far, that's everybody. Okay. Let's go back. Let's talk to Bosco. Right? I love this.
Detective Chowhound Bosco. He thinks he's a real alpha, but nah. He's just a lapdog.
He's adorable.
Holy wild ones, look what the cat dragged in.
Hello to you too, Bosco. I see you're busy as always.
I've been sniffing around one of the rundown joints. You know how it goes. And boom, this son of a lizard comes flying out the window. I didn't know the lizards could fly. So, Mort was being a bad boy again. Nothing unusual. And you? Still dying?
Oh my god. Also, I love the added stuff that they add. Like, so like, it's still like an animal on a human body, but they still add the extra stuff to like morph it. And it's great. Yeah.
I'm
phrasing.
Still a cop for 121 days, Bosco. It's as unpleasant to me as it is to you.
All right. No need to bite. I wasn't trying to mess with you. You have Moses and Plato for that. And of course, Blood Boil.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And it was nice meeting you as well. I'm still going to be streaming for a bit, so hopefully when you're done, maybe you can see if we progress more.
Let's hope I won't run into any of them tonight.
Looking for Marty, eh? Ever since you left, he's kind of lost. He's trying to hide it, but he's not the same bird.
Well, I don't think we'll have a teary reunion, thinking about how we parted.
Let me give you some advice, Sonny. Let him rage. He'll be the same after that. Anyway, he was the one that shot you, right?
What?
You should be mad, not him.
What? What?
It's not that simple, Bosco. But we'll see how he reacts. Thanks anyway.
No worries, pal.
Is it? Okay.
One of Blood Boil's favorites. Mainly because he's a dog, of course. Officer Jardine. They say she's clever, smart, and dangerous. We need more of her kind in here. I'm really not in the mood to meet Deputy Malloy or any of my ex-colleagues from the Predatory Division. All it takes is one look, and my comb starts to tingle, which never means anything good.
So you say. That is cool. It does show the different claws holding the different things. That's really neat. That's really neat. It's a nice little detail.
This is gonna be a hard ride. Last time we saw each other, he had a smoking gun in his hand, and I was bleeding. I don't know how we can get past that, but it's worth a try.
Oh. Oh, look at that. Dang.
Long thighs and a big gun. That's Marty's idea of a perfect woman. Can't blame him for it. Hello, Cassandra. I hope we'll meet again. Oh God, I'm starting to sound like Marty.
So what is it? Keep your gun clean, Mr. Lawman. Hey, if you lot... What? I don't know what that word is. Ammunition box is open again. I'll kick your cheating ass. Marty. Right? It is a tabaxi. I keep hitting the wrong button. My bad. That one. It's a good looking tabaxi, I'll tell you that. Whoa. They all have names?
I know her well. Marty calls her Susie, and I have to say, this little she-devil pulled us out of many tough situations over the years. Claudia, tiny, dark, and angry, and hits you where it hurts the most. I believe this piece is forbidden. Cops can't use it, but this is Marty's personal collection, so it doesn't matter. At least nobody has ever complained.
And, spoiler, I don't have any guns besides the Nerf guns, so I don't name them.
Her Majesty
I would, though.
Bertha.
You're right.
Or rather, Big Bertha 2, because there was one before her. A sawed-off little broad, but we lost
Alright,
her in
I'll
a
see you
swamp.
again soon.
Marty cried for a week,
good luck making dinner,
but once he
and
saw
all
this
the other,
giant lady here,
adult
the balance of the
things
universe
in
was
life.
restored.
Because, you know, we have to be adults in life. But I'll see you soon. And, nice job, John. Sweet. Let's talk to Marty. Or let's look at Marty.
Marty looks good. Big and loud and angry as always. Hey, Marty.
Oh, well, look who's here. Hello, Boss Bird. What, are you lost? This is the PD building, you know?
Cut the shit, Marty. We're better than this.
Well, at least you are. Better than anyone, huh?
Holy crap, that's a lot of magic prisms.
Marty, come on, let's forget that. What's past is past.
Easy for you to say, Sonny.
Damn it, Marty, you shot me, remember? I almost bled to death.
Have a wonderful night.
Hell yeah, I remember. Unfortunately, my aim wasn't good enough.
Damn, Marty.
I need your help, okay? That's what you want to hear.
Well, it's a start.
Okay, I've said it. I won't do it again.
Yeah, right.
So, are you in? Just for tonight. Small case. We'll wrap it up in no time.
What kind of case?
A personal one.
How personal?
Very. The kind of case where if you come with me right now, you're not on duty anymore.
Ooh, damn, Sonny, stop it right there. I'm in.
That's it?
Do you know how boring life is here without your stupid, reckless shit? Soon enough, I'll shoot all the ammo in here out of boredom. Right, so, tell me, what's it about?
I'll tell you in the car.
Ooh, can I bring Bertha?
Ah, for the love of... Marty, this is a routine case. You can't bring your shotgun, okay? Bertha stays.
Okay. But at least Susie can come, right?
All right, Susie can come.
I love this. And you are more than welcome to stay however long you like.
That's what I want to hear.
Okay. Moses is a Tibetan sand fox, and Plato is a palace cat. They're old rivals of Sonny and Marty, currently working at Clawville's PD Homicide Division. Marty. Martin McChicken. Species, chicken. Gender, male. Special feature, unusual height and weight for a fowl. Shining white feathers. He shot me once and I deserved it. We've been partners for almost 10 long, hard years. Phrasing. Well, we were, because now he's helping me unofficially until I wrap up this case. Marty is a hothead with a hard fist, but he's loyal until the end, and I can count on him in every way, especially if guns are in the picture. That's when he reveals his true self, and that's when I don't ever want to get in his way. Not anymore, at least. Detective Boscarelli, alias Bosco. He works in the Predatory Division, as I do. Or as I used to do, to be more precise. Thank you for the follow! We had a lot of follows today.
I was just about to go when you came in, so if you want shooting practice, maybe turn on the lights first.
You're right. I'm gonna do that.
Oh, I can actually... Oh. How do I... Can I turn on the lights? Oh, maybe not.
Still drink coffee?
Yeah, my only poison. Except for guns, of course. And women.
Oh, Marty.
We could visit our old haunt. What do you think?
Oh, a nice cup of Zips coffee and the hot dog. I'm in. Oh, and maybe we'll get into a little fight too, huh?
If it comes to that, I'm leaving you without a blink.
Oh, yeah, like last time?
Those were different times, Marty, with a different Sonny.
Well, all right. To the city, then.
Oh, yeah, that is close to my follower goal.
You don't have to come with me, you know.
Okay, I know. Let's go. Sonny, there's a little problem.
Oh, God.
Not so little, and it smells, too. What the furry hell is Blood Boil doing here?
Oh, no.
Well, it seems we can't avoid speaking to him.
Oh, yes, we can. You have your rifle with you, right?
What?
Just kidding. Sort of.
Oh, dip.
The chief doesn't seem to be in a good mood, but he never is, actually.
What a surprise. The two pigeons back together. And without my permission, of course.
Chief Bloodboil.
Damn.
What was that, Santino?
Nothing, sir. What a lovely evening. Am I right?
I don't want to hear your crowing, Santino. What the hell are you doing here?
Hey, careful with the racist barking, old hound.
Oh, it's getting hot in here. Can we just skip this part? It's New Year's after all.
True.
And you're on duty, if I'm not mistaken, Martin. Where do you think you're going?
That's it, boss. To serve and protect. Sonny was in the neighborhood and stopped by to say hi. He's a cop too, right?
Only on paper, and you know that very well, Detective.
I don't want any trouble, boss. I just wanted to say hi to Monica, and then this feather pillow showed up. I invited him to grab a quick coffee. You can allow him that much, can't you?
Your coffee breaks usually end up in shooting or brawling, chickens.
Animal puns are illegal.
Oh, just a coffee, boss. I swear.
Doesn't matter.
Have a heart. It's New Year's Eve, and I haven't seen my old partner for so long.
How touching. You shot him with a shotgun, if I remember.
He shot him with a shotgun? I thought it was maybe like, what is it, Claudia? Or, not Claudia. God, what's the small gun? A shotgun?
Family quarrel.
Oh my god.
For all the marrow bones of the world, get the hell out of my sight.
Ha 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 ha.
Have a lovely evening, boss.
You especially. Fuck off right now, sir.
Ooh. Oh. All right. Okay. All right. Right? He's a man of taste and culture. Okay, that's the same thing. I just changed the picture because we know more about him. He's my boss and the living statue of justice. He is tough, ruthless, and above all, unbribable. And of course, he is a racist bastard. But still, I don't want to be here when he retires to witness how chaos devours Clawville for good. Let's see. The Hop Dog. This place is famous for its exceptional coffee and the exceptionally frequent whims that take place around it. Well, it's not an assurance of life operating any joint outside of Roachtown. We already saw that. Who's new? Who else is new? Ah, Zip! Name, Zip H. Murphy. Species, raccoon. Gender, male. Social feature, an old enemy who became a good friend over the years. Nice!
We can't avoid speaking with the chief first. And it would be nice to say goodbye to Monica, too.
Okay, so I spoke with the chief. Let's say goodbye to Monica.
We're leaving, sweetheart.
Stay safe, boys. I'm glad to see you two together again.
I'm afraid you're alone with that.
Hey, don't make me change my mind.
You won't, Marty. I bet you can't wait to get mixed up in some serious trouble again.
Yep, that's true.
I'm serious, boys. Be careful out there.
We're big birds, Monica. We can take care of ourselves. Mostly.
Okay, but take care of each other, too.
Will do, Monica.
Yes, ma'am.
Monica. Just Monica. Oh, this is a time thing. I'm gonna go there. Okay, so there's 2 times. I'm gonna go to the Hop Dog first.
The Hop Dog was like the last warning. You can still turn back. My eyes lingered on the sign. An enormous dog. Like a neon god with limitless power over cheap hot dogs, plastic hamburgers, and watered-down coffee. The cold light called me, but I didn't want to get out of the car. If we went in, we were all gonna be pancakes, kept together by cold syrup.
Yeah, I don't want
Marty's
pancakes.
worried look shook me out of my reverie. Oh, cluck. Was I talking to myself again?
Fly guy.
Look at the poor bastard.
He's looking okay, Marty. Remember what we saw when we worked at the Hive?
Wild ones. Don't even remind me. Trying to forget that shit every day.
It's been even worse since. I guess you heard about the riots.
Who hasn't? You know, people are afraid that the Great Fire will happen again, and those hive houses are pretty flammable.
Oh, I will say that something to note about me, just because people were asking about me. I almost always, every stream, say how I'm hungry, even if I've just eaten. I am the embodiment of just gluttony without being like like huge and just like eating all the time. I literally don't eat that much. But I am like always hungry. So like I will, anything that mentions food, or if I smell something or whatever, it's just like, man, I really want that. Damn it. It's pretty great. I'm pretty sure I could do a compilation of something like that and it would be already an hour long.
I don't speak of the devil, Marty. But to be honest, I have no idea how this insect matter can be solved.
I do. We just open the ghettos and let the insects live among us like they did for centuries.
I mean, so hive houses are just... Wait. Oh, that's kind of... What? So the hive houses are like separate places where they live?
Your heart is pure gold, buddy. But you know it's not that easy.
Huh.
Clawville isn't what it used to be.
Huh. I mean, you're right. You're right. I do underestimate my hunger.
Hey, pal. Can you hear me?
Did this wreck belong to Zip?
Well, it's a wreck just like him, so I guess it could.
Huh. Oh.
Of all that's furry.
Is this still a thing?
Wow.
The situation's getting even worse, Marty. Have you heard how the young mothers of the Cobbler District are forced to make a living?
I don't know. I think he's kind of cute.
I have no idea what goes on in the hive, Sonny. I don't think I want to know. But you're still gonna tell me, right?
Prostitution is the lesser evil. What's worse is that some folks have to sell their kids when they're still larvae.
Oh, that's sad. That's sad.
Wait, what? Why?
They pay a hefty sum for each of them downtown.
Oh my God!
Sell them as gourmet food in the most expensive restaurants.
I did not expect this in this game. I'm gonna say this right now.
Oh, I'm gonna be sick.
We made this city, Marty. Clawville didn't do this to itself.
Oh.
Don't ever forget that.
Oh man. Whew. Ugh. That's horrible.
Ugh, the place is deserted. Poor Zip.
Right? Like, Great Depression, just, like, lots of racism, lots of just, whew. Soylent Green is fly babies, yeah. Man, if this game makes me cry, I swear to God. Swear to God. I mean, that's not that's hard to do. But, I'm just saying. But yeah, I thought it would be cute if it was hot dog, but it's hop dog.
You're right.
Yeah, the guy's middle name is Bad Luck.
That's for sure.
Oh, but he's adorable. Look at that. Daily offer, almost ham and tomato, plus a refill drink. Hop dog, hot dog. Grass dog, Savannah style. 20 bucks. I'm not taking that bet. I'm not taking that bet. I probably will cry. Fly with me, baby. Caston Mavis, the new star of rock and roll.
And voila, the master himself.
What a finch.
Sonny, he's a pigeon, not a finch.
Don't make me angry, Marty.
Okay, I was only joking.
Yeah. I can change the music. So for a handful of feathers, dead flies tell no tales. Get a bite of me, baby. My city is on fire. And then what's the last one? Shadow of Doubt. Can I actually pick them? No. Well, that's a thing. So the colors are gone.
Well, that's a good question, pal.
So that's legit. That's not just like Sunny being metaphorical and whatnot. Huh.
What insight.
Right? Huh. I'll look at the menu. Hot dog, snack, and coffee. Almost ham and tomato. Toasted sandwich with synthetic meat. Quasi meat and cheese. Toasted sandwich with synthetic meat. All but bacon and chocolate. Toasted sandwich with synthetic meat. All for foul pancakes. Pancakes with hemp seed, chocolate, and black onions. That's a weird. These are weird mixes. Touche souffle. Peanut souffle with synthetic meat. Smelling souffle. Peanut souffle with parched vegetables? Garched vegetables? Is that what that says? I don't know. Just like home, eh? Burgers and hot dogs. Old Zip knows best. Supersized hot dog with synthetic sausage, chocolate mix, and devil horn paprika. Grass dog, Savannah style. Savannah style hot dog with 5 kinds of grass. Step burger 2000. Veggie burger with diddly squat and sourroot salad. Sia Superstar. Supersized burger with 12 types of algae. What? Hot dog. Normal size hot dog with 4 kinds of synthetic meat. And then zipped coffee.
You still don't eat meat, old man?
I'm a rooster, a chicken. Why the hell would I eat meat?
I mean, he's not wrong.
I don't mean real meat. I'm not a lunatic. But a meat substitute? There's about 10 different kinds. Have you never tried any of them?
Yeah, you're right. I would probably try it.
Why would I? If I don't eat meat, why would I eat a substitute?
Because you can. That's the point.
Wild gods, Marty. Stop being such a sheep. Do you fall for those adverts?
Oh my god, where's Matt when you need him? Don't be a sheeple. Don't be a sheeple.
Substitute isn't meat, Sonny. And if it's tasty, why wouldn't I eat it?
I don't care what you eat, but don't be surprised when you lose all your feathers or you try to bite off your own leg one day.
Interesting.
The highlight of my day.
Yeah, I can smell it already. How does he make the coffee here so special?
Look at that mangy trash panda and tell me, do you really want to know?
You're right.
As always.
I mean, but he's adorable. Look at him, and he's got his little tattoos.
The door didn't look like this last time.
Yeah, because last time you tore it out and beat that baboon with it.
Oh, yeah. I remember now. So that's why Zip remodeled the whole place.
He had to. We didn't leave much of it standing.
If I didn't know how nice we are, I'd almost hate ourselves.
Welcome to the club, partner.
Don't, like, chickens also eat, like, ticks and whatnot? So, I mean, they would already be eating technically meat.
He didn't get any younger.
Or prettier.
You think he's still mad at us?
Probably.
Frankly, Marty, I don't give a damn.
There we go. That's definitely a noir thing.
Hello, boys. Now, get the hell out of here while I'm asking nicely.
Hey, is that how you greet 2 old friends?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm not joking, Sonny. I got a shotgun under the bar.
No, you don't, because if you had, we'd arrest you here and now.
I'm drinking my spicy water.
If there's still life in you when you're full of buckshot.
It's going well so far.
We're just here for a coffee, Zip, okay? Like old times.
Nothing's like old times. Haven't you noticed?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, it's quite noticeable.
Shit. All right. And where'd you blow in from?
We haven't been anywhere yet, but we're going somewhere.
Everybody's going somewhere, right?
Tell me, how much do you know, Zip?
That depends. How deep is it?
Bottom of the well kind. Goes down around Ibn Wessler.
Yep.
Holy hell! Wessler? You've dipped your wings in deep shit, boys.
If you've got anything on him, don't keep it to yourself. We'd be grateful.
Grateful? Maybe you're not gonna trash my joint this time, eh? You know, Ibn's acting strange nowadays. He always believed that if you want something done, you do it yourself. That's how it was for years, anyway.
And?
But now, he left his real estate, the fish racing clubs, the casinos, and the bars to his right-hand man, Mongrel Mick. And ever since, he's been kinda weird. Bottomed out, brooding in the seediest joints of the city. Nobody ever knew him to be like this. Weird, huh?
Yeah, weird. Do you think it's about a lady?
It's always about a lady.
Well, there is a woman.
I knew it.
But not like you think.
Is this gonna cost much?
Only a favor, like the good old days.
Okay, I'm in.
Okay. Let's see. So, more info about Ibn. He's been acting quite strange recently, as if he's trying to withdraw from his own shady businesses to live a simple life with simple pleasures. It wouldn't be a problem in itself, but this just isn't like him. Okay. Look at that handsome profile. Look at it. He used to be a small-time criminal, but the underworld pushed him out. Now he makes the best coffee in the whole city, in a rundown rest area. Oh, and he also proved to be a rather useful police informant. Zip is getting old. He still has his connections. It's worth questioning him about everything, but time has had its way with him too. I can't speak. It's fine. The Hive, Roachtown, Cobbler District. The Cobbler District, also known as the Hive or Roachtown, was once part of the city, but then it became a walled-off ghetto, where 98% of the city's insect population is forced to live. Currently, the biggest threat to the city are the riots in the Hive that have almost driven the city-state to the brink of a civil war and multiple times already. I mean, that's just wrong. That's just wrong, in general. The Great Fire of Clawville. Not long after the Meat War and the following economic crisis in 893, a fire almost destroyed the entire city of Clawville. Originated in the Ratwell district, not even the River Thames was able to stand in its way. It was fiery hell incarnate, after which the city had to be built up again almost from scratch. Meat substitutes. Meat replacement, or meat substitute foods, made it possible to reduce meat consumption, predation, and domestic cannibalism in the whole wilderness. These products are widespread nowadays, and are not only popular with predators, but all kinds of animals. Right? I mean, I don't, that sounds wrong in general, to me at least. Mongrel Mick the Marauder. Mick is one of the most infamous henchmen of Ibn Wessler, known by many rather scary nicknames, thanks to his cruel nature. Sonny and Marty have crossed paths with Mick before, and it took a lot of effort to get out of those encounters with feathers intact. Alright, Zip.
Have you ever been to that place?
Of course, 100 times. Everyone who matters in this city's been there. Sorry, guys. But then, it had a different name and a different owner.
Business affairs, right?
Yeah, that was the dark era, Sonny. I don't want to talk about it.
Roger that.
Hot dog.
Gotta say, you've revamped the joint pretty well.
After you trashed it, I had to.
Look, I'm sorry, Zip. That ocelot and his gorilla.
Baboon, not gorilla.
Whatever.
Sonny, watch your beak. So you owe me one until about the end of time. But I'd settle for you washing up here for a few years after retirement, Sonny.
Mind your tongue, furball. So, Ibn's gone insane.
Love will kill you in the end, they say.
Seems like everyone's in a poetic mood today.
Hell yeah, it's a noir, man.
You're one to talk, by the way.
Huh? Why?
Okay.
So, about that woman. Is she really that dangerous?
What woman isn't, huh?
Fair point. Fair point.
No, Zip. I mean, really dangerous.
She's got the most influential gangster of the city wrapped around her finger. She calls him her little furball. How dangerous do you think she is?
You didn't get any younger, pal.
You're telling me? You look like you haven't had a good night's sleep since forever.
To be honest, I've never had a good night's sleep in my life.
You will when the big sleep comes.
Damn.
And what are your plans? Dying behind the bar?
Of course. You got a better idea?
A couple, yeah. But somehow this suits you.
You know what? Your mother's a goat.
Damn. Savage. Zip was delivering information to Ibn, whatever. I don't even remember how it just went, and he just said it. Up to a couple of years ago. He was already working as a police informant then, so he may have been reporting to both sides. Sneaky little bastard. Alright, so... let's go back to... yeah, he's talking about goat moms. Let's go back to the hotel.
Yeesh. My condolences, pal. I see your cleaning lady died.
Yeah, you don't talk about mamas.
Yeah, she set foot in the bedroom once. I haven't seen her since. I didn't dare to go after her.
Wow.
Oh, I wouldn't want to go in there either. But what's that smell?
Cigarettes and whiskey.
Yeah, with a hint of dirty laundry, but no, this is lavender?
Ah, that. Now that's got to be the Ibanez dame. You know, the broad who gave me the letter. And the job, obviously.
Ah, pretty, huh? I can smell it. She's an exotic, too. An impala, maybe?
What? What? No.
Furry hell. That's why Chief Inspector Bloodboil hates you so much. He's jealous because your nose is better than a clucking bloodhound.
The bitter old dog. He just hates all foul.
Ah, true. Except for Monica.
Just Monica. I feel like he is, but maybe he's not.
Monica is a fairy, not a bird. So, what now?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, let's gather my stuff and head to the club. We gotta find out who this Natasha is and what she wants from us. I mean, what she really wants.
After you, Boss Bird. I wouldn't like to touch anything in here anyway. If it's okay, I'll just stand around and stare out the window.
Sure, just do it quietly.
Nothing new. I don't think.
Maybe in another lifetime, old bird.
Have you started on your great novel yet?
I've already started working on my will, but I realize I'd have to leave everything to you, so clock that.
Huh, pity. I've always wanted a chicken coop smelling like old socks and bourbon.
You'll have to earn it first, Marty. I'm gonna clean up here one day. Yeah, and one day the sun's gonna explode too. My wife took all the good ones. She knew they'd only gathered dust here, and she was right. You know, this city's outgrown us.
Why do you say that?
Well, don't you feel it? The whole place squeezing you. The polluted air, the sirens, and the smell of cordite.
Don't be such a drama queen. It's not the world that's changed, it's us. Clawville's Clawville. We're just getting older.
No, there really is something. You know the feeling of foreboding, of something wrong, of something bad on the horizon.
I mean, this is a noir game.
You're screwing my mood.
Yeah, but I'm not sorry.
No shit.
Just a bunch of useless crap in there.
When was the last time I was here?
I don't know. Years ago. When Molly left.
Whew, that was a wild night.
Yeah.
You know, Sonny, you can call me. Not just when you want to investigate some shady case from a shady dame and you need a big meat shield to cover your ass.
Times have changed, Marty. And I don't call anyone.
All right, Boss Bird. Whatever you say.
I wonder why everybody calls him Boss Bird.
Have you been there before?
Never. You know, it's not my style. It's too fancy for me. I'm more like the smoky, smelly, ramshackle little joint type.
Yeah, same here.
But we're not gonna mingle like this, right?
We're not searching for a tailor on New Year's Eve, okay? We'll go as we are.
That'll be exciting.
Let's just stay out of trouble, okay?
What trouble?
That's the spirit.
So she just turned up with a message on this flyer, and you fell for it?
Maybe I was bored, or maybe there's more to this thing than meets the eye.
Hell yeah, he does.
Yeah, there's always more.
Maybe I just wanted to meet you for old time's sake.
That's not funny.
I've never had a good sense of humor. You know that better than anyone.
That's for sure. So the Tsar Club, huh? My city's on fire. Sounds good. But that's all? It's kind of weak for a clue.
It's not a clue. It's just a guide. By the way, it's New Year's Eve. We deserve some fun, right?
Well, that's true. But it's never that easy with you, Boss Bird. There's something you're not telling me, right?
Nothing important, Marty.
Yeah. If you say so. Oh, hi, Mr. Sinclair. How are we?
Sinclair is doing fine, thanks. Anyway, you still talk to your guns?
Yeah. And so what? Other animals talk to their plants. Crazy, isn't it? At least a gun has a soul. And it's useful.
I can't believe you're allowed to walk around freely, Birdie.
Oh, if you only knew what I'm packing right now.
I don't want to know what's under your feathers, Marty. I suppose 2 shots was enough for today. At least until we learn what this Natasha woman really wants.
Yeah, let's see. I feel like we got everything for that area. So, club? We going to club? Clubbing? I'm gonna say we go clubbing. Let's go clubbing.
Midnight had passed, and the intoxicated madness kicked in. We could only crawl along Shalva District's main street toward downtown. The city's heart beat differently. Ancient buildings were defaced by neon signs and billboards, like half-drunk lovers on a fine leather sofa. Great old houses neighbored by garish modern blocks. A place that makes the head hurt. The Tsar's huge neon sign was visible for miles. A blazing red sign advertised tonight's main attraction, the amazing Natasha. Cops were never welcomed at places like this. I hoped we were too late for the show. We had to be inconspicuous, but it was never easy with this bird mountain by my side.
So this is the famous Tsar Club.
More like infamous, Marty. It's not for our kind, that's for sure. And I don't mean that they don't like foul here.
Well, at least we don't have to be afraid that they see you as a detective, Boss Bird.
Very funny, Marty.
So what are we gonna do now?
We find Natasha, the broad who sent me the message, remember? But first we need to get into the club. And Marty, please, don't monkey this up.
Excuse me? On behalf of the well-respected and noble primate community of Clawville?
Cut the crap, Marty. Let's focus on what we're here for, okay?
As you say, Boss Bird. Hey, that's your old friend, right? Wait, what was his name? Lawrence? Lamar? No, Liam.
Marty.
Lewis. Yes, it's him.
To be honest, Sonny, I always thought that guy's not all there in the head.
Oh, he's sweet. Stop it.
Nobody's perfectly sane in Clawville, Marty. But if not for this old rabbit, I wouldn't be here today. I'll never forget that.
Should I thank him for that?
Or kill him for it?
You're reading my mind, boss. Honestly, I think these types of women only see faceless tuxedos, cufflinks, and wallets. And in the mirror, they're just brooches, necklaces, and earrings.
Yeah. And yes, he is just a hair shy.
Don't be so radical, Marty. They're women. They live by different rules.
What?
That was kind of deep.
It's not. Just bullshit. There's more where that came from.
Ooh, teach me, Master.
When you're old and wise like me, you'll realize none of it is worth a damn thing.
Wait, that was deep again, right?
Maybe it was, Marty. Maybe it was.
Amazing.
Sonny, my dear friend.
Hi, Lewis. This is my partner, but I'm sure you already know.
You have no idea how happy I am to meet you, Mr. Marty. I'm a big admirer of your work.
Pleasure's all mine, Lawrence.
Lawrence? Anyways, so, the legendary Chicken Police back together? Isn't it amazing news?
Don't ruffle my feathers, Lewis. Those days are long gone. We're just here for the entertainment. Or something like that.
I see. Well, that's a shame.
See you inside?
I love him.
I have something to do, my pal, but I'll try to make it for the main event.
Okay then. Catch you later, pal.
Whoa, look at that. Isn't that the new...
It is, Marty. A brand new 942 Silver Hawk. Haven't seen such beauty since I left Averia.
Right? They did an amazing job.
Of all that's furry, whose is it?
Maybe it's Ibn Wessler's.
Ibn.
I guess he's no paper tiger.
Yeah, he sounds like a fellow who drives around in one of these. Lucky bastard.
Tsar Club. In the most colorful club of the most colorful city, my city is on fire. Brand new hit from the Queen of the Night.
You know, seeing this, I can't wait for the show.
No way, Marty. No way.
The girls?
New Year's Eve's once a year, right? and we're not on duty.
Have I asked
I mean,
how Laura's doing?
You're technically on duty. Oh!
Whoa, hey, I was just kidding, okay? My relationship with Laura is unwavering, like the rhino beauty on this picture.
Interesting taste you've got.
Feathers, scales, or dermal armor, a lady's a lady, my friend.
Ain't that right, Marty? Ain't that right?
Thank the wild gods for self-sacrificing gentlemen like you.
Oh, you shut it, Sonny. You don't know true tastes.
Do you remember when the Clawville Chronicle was a really high-quality newspaper?
You mean when they wrote something about us daily?
Yeah. What exactly happened to them?
Well, they got bored with us, Marty. And to be honest, so did I.
Damn.
But still, here we are working together again. Funny, huh?
Yeah, hilarious.
Wait, I want to see the other side. I'm gonna wait. So this whole thing is just, it's very interesting to me. It's very, like, it's more fleshed out than I thought. Moonlight Boulevard, a Clawville story.
Ah, I like this.
Why is that?
I don't know. 'Cause it's moving, I guess.
You're a simple bird, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Adorable. Let's see. Yeah, it's got so much, and I love it. I absolutely love it.
One day, neon signs will cover the whole world, I'm telling you.
You read that in some kind of science fiction book?
No, it's just what I think.
Oh, so you have your own thoughts now. The world's really moving forward.
Pluck off, Sonny.
Alright, talk to the bouncer. Well, let's look at him first.
Jeez, look at that guy.
I love him.
That's not a guy. That's a demon. Straight from the dog-eared pages of a cheap detective novel.
He's a ram. Calm down.
Yeah, I bet his name's Bill.
Nah, he's definitely a Bob.
$5 for Bill?
Okay, I'm in.
Okay.
Howdy, pal.
Gentlemen, how can I help you on this wonderful chilly night?
I love him.
We're expected in the VIP lounge.
My apologies, but I don't remember ever seeing you gentlemen here before. May I ask?
Stop right there, big guy. I get it. Yeah, I know exactly how this works. So what do you have to do to get in?
Oh, I should try that out someday.
Nothing's easier, sir. Are you on the list?
The list? Yeah, I've,
Look how big his eye got.
Don't tell me you forgot.
I'm afraid I did, Marty. Sorry, big guy, but I'm pretty sure we're not on the list tonight.
That's a shame. I'm really sorry, sirs. In that case, you can't come in.
You didn't even say your name. You didn't even try.
Yeah, right. Thanks.
My pleasure, gentlemen.
God, the animation, so clean. I'm sorry, I keep gushing over this, but it looks really good. Averia. A country inhabited exclusively by birds. I can't speak either. Maybe I haven't had enough caffeine. It's a picturesque modern place governed by a democratic parliament. It's bordered by 2 seas, and its economies built mostly on air transport, commerce, and its aerial military. The country's on neutral terms with almost every other nation, except for the Great Meat War, had kept this standpoint all throughout known history. Clawville Chronicle. The Clawville Chronicle is the most read and highest quality newspaper in the city. It's so famous that it's also being read beyond Clawville's borders, and not just the colonies. This was the paper that first published an article about the 2 heroic roosters, aka the chicken police. The article was written by Timothy Saltwater, the Seagull journalist who has since become somewhat of a legend himself. Also, I apologize if you hear barking. That's my mom's dog, Oreo, in the background. I guess my sister isn't home yet. Talk about the police badge.
Look, I really don't want any trouble, but...
It is even more inconvenient for me, sir, but this place doesn't like coppers. Forgive this slang. I can't let just anybody in, and there are some I am strictly forbidden to. Please, you have to understand.
Listen here, you cow. Do you have any idea who we are? You ever read the papers?
Of course, I know who you are, sir. I read the news and more, and I must admit it's an honor to meet you in person, Mr. Santino Featherland and Mr. Marty Machikin. The Bell of the Pantheress is one of my favorite books.
Oh my god, not the books again.
So it would be terribly inconvenient for me if I had to use force on you, gentlemen.
What did you just say?
Oh my god, Marty, no!
Relax, Marty. This guy has chicks like you for breakfast. Thanks for the information, pal. Have a nice night.
Thank you for understanding, gentlemen. And forgive me for my austere composition.
No problem, Shakespeare. Say, big guy, you know Mr. Lewis Hayworth?
But of course, Mr. Hayworth is an impeccable gentleman, and also a frequent visitor of the club.
Is he?
Is that so? Good to know. And?
I'm afraid that is all, monsieur.
Monsieur. I love him so much.
Can you tell me about the first lady of the place, big guy?
You mean Miss Natasha Katsenko, sir?
You're right on point, pal.
I'm gonna have to look up who the voice actors are for this game, because it's phenomenal.
Nothing you don't know already, sir.
Just try me.
Well, she owns the place.
And, that's it? Well, that's, unbelievable.
Pardon, monsieur, but I'm not permitted to say anything more.
So I really...
That fella's built like a brick shithouse. I don't think we'll be able to just sneak past him.
God, I haven't heard that in forever.
Wanna bet?
Marty, no.
Not today, Marty. Remember, we must avoid suspicion.
Ay, ay, ay.
Okay. No trouble. I get it. It's okay, Bertha. Maybe
Jesus.
time.
Where'd you pull that out of?
What was that?
Nothing. Just the wind.
Did you bring Big Bertha with you?
Gods, no. What are you thinking? What idiot would bring a shotgun to a club?
You, apparently.
Was that a rhetorical question?
Right? I don't even know. Maybe Zip has more answers. No. Damn. Do I have anything else that...
The old days. You know, I miss him sometimes.
What? The hype? Us as celebrity cops?
Oh, I need more caffeine.
Nah, the work, the buzz, the phone ringing at 4 a.m. and knowing if you pick it up, you'll be dragged into something terrible, because that's your job. And of course, you pick it up every clucking time.
Every clucking time.
I'm not sure it's healthy to enjoy that.
Hey, no healthy animal becomes a cop in Clawville.
Yeah, true.
I didn't know you used to be a kindergarten teacher. But leather?
It's history, so back off.
I'm touched by the trust you have in me, Boss Bird.
There are things better left undisturbed, okay?
Yeah, got it. Man, I can't imagine how you feel. The only good thing you ever had, huh?
Shut up, Marty.
Sure.
Damn.
Who's that shaggy creature?
That's M.B. Davis, you bird brain.
Politician?
Am I gonna have to smash your beak?
Damn.
Seriously, I don't know who the hell he is. So this is them.
Yeah, the Wild Gentlemen. They were role models when I was a kid.
Well, you must have been a weird kid, which ain't surprising. My idols were the White Wolf and Super Squirrel.
The White Wolf, eh? Explains a lot. You know, when I was back in Averia, Clawville and the whole let's live together in peace bullshit seemed like an unattainable dream. Those guys made it happen. The city rose from the ashes of the Great Fire.
Yeah, but look at it now. And what would have become of you if you hadn't ended up in Clawville? Maybe you'd even be happy?
Perhaps.
Leather and fur. Leather and fur used to be high fashion, but nowadays, especially in Clawville, the use of real leather and fur is quite rare. It's not totally illegal to wear these kinds of clothes yet if you can afford it, but it's quite despicable to put it mildly. I mean, yeah. Wild Gentlemen. A civilian organization started by the four most influential and wealthiest animals in the city. The fire of 867 had almost entirely wiped Clawville off the face of the wilderness, when the Wild Gentlemen intervened and built the city anew, using all their money and influence. They were heroes, or at least they were regarded as such. Some believed the fire was their doing, and it was all part of a national conspiracy, but most likely we'll never know the truth. Dip! Alright, so I'm thinking we're gonna have to go to the police department.
Look at these two simpletons.
They don't even realize their jackets are full of holes.
For the wild God's sake, don't dare tell them.
I already tried, but nothing happened.
Figures.
Hello, gents. Everything all right?
Aye, everything's just fine, Sonny.
Well, look, the chick police are together again.
Yes,
what a time to be alive. Am I right, Royce?
You're right, Fuss.
Hey, that reminds me.
Oh my God!
What I found under my coat. It's Her Majesty Big Bertha in the flesh.
Whoa, 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 don't shoot. We were just joking, okay? We don't want any trouble.
Yeah, I was just joking too. I'll never get bored with these two. They're so cute.
Goddamn, Marty. Yeah, like, I don't
wonder
understand
why they thought you would shoot at another cop.
Yeah, I wonder.
Hey, it's just happened once, okay? Am I right, boys?
You're right, Marty. And we all know it was an accident.
See?
Lord.
Maybe next time. I'm not in the mood to meet any of my ex-colleagues right now.
Hey, Monica. Remember that invitation from the other day?
Oh, yeah. I'm so sorry, Marty. I'd love to, but I've got a lot of work to do. You know how it is. Please tell your sweetheart that I'm sorry.
Okay, I understand. No problem.
We'll meet at the annual party anyway, right?
Yeah, that's true. I'll tell Laura. I see you're swamped, buddy.
I've sent the old lizard away. I don't need him to foul the air anymore. I hate his kind anyway.
Wow. Bosco!
Well, because he's
Bad dog.
No, because he's a good-for-nothing piece of shit.
Oh. Still.
No, yeah, that's true.
And you letting off some steam?
Something like that. We'll go and check out some seedy joint. We're cops after all, ain't we? And this is still Clawville.
That's true, pal. Protect and serve.
Yeesh, get a room, you two.
Ah, shut up, Marty.
I was just about to go when you came in, so if you want shooting practice, maybe turn on the lights first.
You're right. I'm gonna do that.
Oh, there you go. Aim your gun at enemies and avoid shooting the hostages. Simple as that. Shooting enemies increases your points, and remaining time while hitting hostages does the opposite. It's all up to you. Choose wisely and fire away. You'll need to reload your gun after 6 shots, just like in the westerns, but even faster. Sure. Pew! 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 How do I reload? Oh. It's a good thing I ran out of ammo. Holy crap! Do you see Marty's high score? God damn! Oh, wait. Damn it. I didn't mean to do... God damn it. Leave the shooting range. Okay. How am I...
Is he deaf?
I don't know. Maybe he just doesn't understand what I'm saying.
Or he doesn't want to.
That's also very likely.
That Natasha's a mysterious woman, a real cursed jewel if you ask me. She came out of nowhere 2 or 3 years ago and landed on the stage of the Millions almost immediately.
Is that so? Interesting.
Yeah, she's got a fantastic voice, makes men go crazy. But we all know that's not what's important. Then suddenly, bam! She got the whole club, just like that. But we know exactly how it was.
I can imagine, yeah. Since then, it operates under the name the Czar Club, right?
The old click is still clicking, right? Yeah, the club was renamed and remodeled. Everyone knows she was Ibben's lover, but she's not your usual canary. She didn't get involved in Ibben's dirty dealings.
Then how exactly does she fit into the picture?
Check this. A few months ago, the old rat pulled out of his own businesses and gave control to Mongrel Mick and his mob.
Mongrel Mick? Doesn't sound familiar.
Mick the Marauder, ring a bell?
Damn, that little monkey came this far?
I think that little shit took advantage of Ibben not being himself.
Which has something to do with this Natasha, right?
That's my guess.
Thanks for this straight dope, Zip. We owe you one.
One? You owe me the price of a new coffee shop, remember?
I mean, yeah.
Okay, okay. Whatever you need. Just call us.
I cluck and will.
Thanks, pal.
I cluck and will.
Hey, I'm not your pal, Marty.
She was the singing sensation of the millions and later became the owner under Ib's patronage. Not much is known of her past before this, though. So then maybe I'm missing something here. No.
So, am I staring quietly enough?
Well, the floor's creaking a bit when you shift your weight, so,
You're an asshole. It would be best to board it up. It'd go well with this rundown neighborhood.
Wow.
It may be run down, but somehow I still feel like it's honest.
Sure. You could live in Cockroach Town. That's an honest place, too. Has a similar stink.
Believe me, Marty, I thought about it.
Why am I not surprised?
I feel like I'm missing something.
Do you still drink that garbage?
Hey, it's not garbage, okay? Allegedly, they've used it as medicine once, if you must know.
Yeah, once they used to heal with bloodletting too, Marty. Don't believe everything that's on these labels. You're not a little chick anymore.
Okay, Dad.
What is it, Santino?
Nothing, sir.
And you need something, Martin?
No, sir.
Then get out of my sight, birds.
I have a strange feeling that we'll meet again tonight.
Strange. I have that feeling too.
That's weird. I was just thinking the same thing.
So what am I missing? What am I missing to get in there? Maybe I can talk to,
Time to go, partner. It'll take half an hour or more to get there.
To the club, then. I'm curious about the show.
Look, Marty, we're not going there to have fun, okay?
I know. We worked together for 10 years, remember?
9.
Oh, do you have any gum?
Of course not. Chickens don't chew.
Well, I'll go crazy on a long ride without it.
And I'll go crazy from you beaking it.
Sonny, it's a pleasure working with you again.
maybe we gotta talk to Lewis again?
Look, Lewis, that bouncer over there.
Well, yes. He is a bit intimidating, but his manners are impeccable. Am I right?
Yes, indeed, but it seems tonight we're not on his list.
Oh, I see. Oh, I get it. You'd like to go in, but he won't let you.
Yeah, something like that.
No, no problem at all. Come with me. I'll talk to him.
Much obliged, pal.
Yeah, thanks, Bunny.
Excuse me.
Ah, jeez, what the hell's wrong with you, Marty?
What? Did I say something wrong?
Yeah, Marty.
Sir, how'd you do?
Everything's fine, Mr. Ayworth.
Good. Look, this noble pair of pigeons are my friends. They're on the list, okay?
Naturellement, sir.
And as for you, you owe me one, gentlemen.
Thanks, old pal.
It was my pleasure to help you, as always.
Sweet.
The jazz overwhelmed us. There was no band.
Marty is Marty.
Yet the music.
I love everybody in this.
Like years of cigarette smoke and the smell of spilt whiskey. Behind the bar, rows of fancy bottles reflected the harmonious voices of pretty dames and the clinking of crystal glass. It was the kind of place that makes you drunk, even if you've never had a sip. A dangerous place for someone like me. No matter how alien I felt, it was strangely like coming home. Welcome to the Tsar. Well, here we are.
Mother of...
I take you to the nicest places, eh, sweetheart?
Oh, does it mean you're buying, honey?
Don't even think about it.
Oh, men these days. So, we're here to find a dame called Natasha.
I have a hunch she won't be hard to find. Let's mingle and try to avoid suspicion.
Just like always.
No, Marty, not like always. This time it's for real.
And that? No. That would say... Do you want to talk to... There's the fox fella.
A fox is a wolf who sends flowers.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, nothing. I read it somewhere.
Look how big his eye got.
Fascinating. I didn't know you could read.
Ha ha ha. Very funny.
Dang.
So, where the hell is Natasha?
Let's ask that stud over there with those nice gals.
That guy looks way too horny for my taste.
Oh man, your sense of humor is bad as ever.
I don't know, I love it.
You just need to get used to it again.
What
I love it.
This guy is certainly not a gangster henchman.
Of course he's not.
Hey, Marty, I bet you wouldn't dare to go up to him and ask if he hasn't seen your fur coat.
What? Why? I'm mad, yeah, but not suicidal.
Ah, are you chicken or what?
Yeah.
Piss off, old bird.
Nah, chicken shit.
Cassidy Lupus and Cassandra Ruby Faye in The Loudest Howl. He has the case, he has the girl, he has the gun, he is the alpha.
Huh. Another Lupus movie. Jeez. Is there nothing today they're not trying to sell with this guy?
Whoa, don't be rude, Sonny. Lupus is a timeless genius. Have you seen Predator City? God, I'm still getting chicken bumps. But wait, who's that next to him?
Cassandra Ruby Faye. Nah, never heard of her.
Cassandra Ruby Faye. Oh, gods, even her name makes me go weak in the knees.
Watch your blood pressure, pal.
Don't mind me. Just women and guns are my only weakness.
No shit.
Hannibal Bogan and Louisa Bandicoot. The picture they were ba for. The Big Sheep, directed by Thomas B. Acco, a Clawville Association Limited production.
You think this is one of those movies where the femme fatale gets everything in the end and the poor detective's left stranded?
Yep, just like life.
It was Lupus once. You can't say it was never Lupus. It was Lupus once. Hicks Poodle, Claire Turmoil, Anna Shiny, Murder My Tweet.
Ooh, I've seen this. Hicks Poodle plays a private eye, hired to look for a woman, then gets into some kind of blackmail thing that's connected to the first case, and...
Hey, Marty?
What, yeah?
I don't give a shit.
Wow. Veronica Kate and Robert Fodder. This done for hire with Larry Cougar and Alan Thad.
Oh, I know this Fodder guy. He was kind of good in Death of the Horse.
You've seen every clucking movie.
Hell yeah.
Laura and I go to the movies a lot. When was the last time you went?
I want to meet Laura.
Exactly 12 years ago.
Oh, you remember that precisely? Let me guess. Molly?
Yep, our very first date.
I see. What did you watch?
I don't remember. I just remember her. And nothing else.
Damn.
You're a clucking poet. I mean it.
I was hoping to have missed the main event.
You're a rusty old cock, that's why.
So says the little butt jam.
But what? That's not even a word.
It is now, all because of you. You should feel honored. Butt jam.
I'm gonna call everybody that now. You're a butt jam.
You know, Sonny, sometimes you're like an evil little child.
What is it, butt jam?
Nothing, old fart.
That's just his name now. Right up the butt! The butt! Oh, whoa, hello. Hey, there's that guy I saw in the thing.
Look, Sonny, I know it's not my place, but Laura's father went to that guy when his, problems had gone too far.
You're treading on thin ice, Marty.
No, I just... Look, fellas at the station are talking, you know? All kinds of things. Moses, Plato, Bosco, and the others.
Talking, eh? About what? About why Blood Boil took my badge? About what an untrustworthy alcoholic wreck I am?
Oh.
Look, I'm sorry, it doesn't matter.
No, we haven't run into any ducks yet.
Good. And let it stay that way.
At least we're cracking this one together, yeah?
Sure, Marty.
She has pretty long legs. I mean, pretty and long legs for a squirrel, but I don't want to be prejudiced.
We're not here to stare at pretty squirrels. We're here to investigate, remember?
I mean, why not both? Okay, do I talk to the little hawk or do I talk to Fabio behind the bar? Oh, like a Dr. Quack? Dr. Quackensworth or something? But we already have a doctor. It's that owl doctor. Dr. Bubo. Talk to Fabio. So we got one vote for Fabio. Did we see a quack? On a news clipping. Oh, that was one of the wild gentlemen or something. But we haven't met them. Okay, let's talk to Fabio.
A man's best friend.
That's not a dog, Sonny. That's a horse. He just has a very weird mane.
No, he's a bartender.
I didn't mean him, Marty. I meant the bar.
Oh, I see. Right. Yeah, because that totally makes sense.
2 whiskeys, kid, and no horsing around.
Ah.
I've never heard that one before.
Love it.
Sonny, you gotta drive, you know?
Yeah, you're right, Marty. Hey, Longface, Give me a glass of tap water too, okay?
Yes, sir. Coming right up. That wasn't exactly what I meant.
Tell me, hey Breath, have you seen Natasha tonight?
Not yet, sir. But she's coming on soon.
Well, can you tell me anything about Mr. Ibn Wessler?
Sir, I don't want to.
What about, let's see, $5 maybe?
But, sir, you haven't even paid for your drinks yet. Yeah, stop riding on the details, Big Nose. You do your job, and we'll do ours, okay?
Damn.
I mean, we're not here for work, of course. We're just here to relax.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Just a little fun. Of course, gentlemen. Gentlemen, your drinks.
Yeah, sorry, but we have to run. Thanks anyway, Bojack.
Ugh, my name is not Bojack. I tip you, pal, but I don't have any change, so... Sure, sir. The Tsar welcomes you back anytime.
Sounds good, Bojack.
God, this game.
Hey, there's Filmar.
Who? Oh, yes. Filmar. Because that's what he calls himself, right?
You know him well?
We had some seriously wild cases together, yes. Mainly in Averia, way before Clawville. Another place and another life.
Sounds good. Like the blurb of some cheap pulp fiction book.
Yeah, it was the exact opposite. But the old bird's worth saying hi to.
Hi, Filmar. What's up?
Well, well. If it isn't the great detective, Marlowe.
Blow me, Sonny. You know I don't use that name anymore.
Okay, Mr. Dumbass alias Filmar Lowe.
So says someone who tried to go undercover with a Feather Pillow Mafia is a turkey. Right, Mr. Turk Cayman?
That was a long time ago. I was young.
I love them.
And I stick to my principles and my stupidity. Phil Marlowe, and that's that. Don't rile me up, you old fart.
Okay, fair enough. Sorry, I'm a little clucked tonight.
I know the feeling, pal. By the way, what are you two doing here? You stick out a bit. Are you here for a good old-fashioned beating?
Yeah, totally.
We stick out? Man, you look terrible. Like someone who sat on an electric pole.
Don't even ask. I feel exactly like that.
You want a case?
5 feet tall, half of that legs. Angelic voice, demonic eyes, just the usual.
Oh boy.
And you?
Something like that. Just don't know the exact numbers yet. A dame named Natasha. She called us here. If I'm not mistaken, the joint is hers.
Yeah, she owns the joint, amongst others. Well, good luck, guys. That broad has a reputation. She's not the kind to toy with, if you know what I mean.
Any useful information?
For free?
Stop clucking around, Filmar.
All right, but just because of the old days. Look for me after you've talked to her. You wouldn't understand what I have to say about her before then. Don't leave unless you're thrown out, in which case, you know the drill. We don't know each other, I'll deny you in a blink.
Good to see you too, old pal. We'll be back.
I like the detail that his tie isn't tied right either. It's pretty great. What?
That woman with Ibn. I think I know her from somewhere.
You dirty rat!
Maybe in your dreams, pal.
Isn't that?
Yes, it is. The great Ibn Wessler, in the flesh. So much for our incognito.
You think he noticed us?
Only if he's not entirely blind.
Great.
Just act nonchalant, my friend.
No, it can't be.
What now?
Is that Olivia?
No, Marty.
Hey, Olivia.
Oh my god.
Are you talking to me?
It's me, Marty McChicken.
Oh, God.
What a pleasant surprise. The Rooster Copper's in person.
I love his voice.
Chicken police. But yeah, Mr. Wessler, you could say so. The name's...
Sunny Featherland, of course, of course. Chicken police. Your partner is, he is,
Marty McChicken, sir. I just introduced myself to your lady companion seconds ago.
Oh yeah. I'm so happy to see you.
You know what's funny? His portrait of the rat.
Hello, boy.
His eyes are a little buggy, so he actually is happy. Rats' eyes get buggy when they are happy, and they also do like a weird purr thing. It's really cute.
So, to what do we owe this pleasure, gentlemen?
Yeah, so, we were, just in the neighborhood, and...
Cut the crap, Marty. All right, we're here for your sweetheart, Natasha.
Oh, I see.
No big deal. Just a blackmail thing. You know, horrifying threats written on the wall with blood-red paint. The usual stuff. You must be familiar with this kind of thing.
Oh yeah, indeed. It's, nasty business. But I didn't know Natasha hired a detective because of this simple matter. But to be honest, I understand. I would have taken matters into my own hands, you see. But I'm kind of busy.
Mr. Wessler had a meeting with Attorney General Hamtaro yesterday, so he's rather tired. If you would excuse us.
Please tell me he's a hamster. Please tell me he's Hamtaro the hamster. Please. God, I hope so.
Oh, dear Olivia, it's okay. These gentlemen are just doing their job, right? And if I've heard correctly, they're notoriously thorough. So,
It's Hamtaro time.
How can I help you?
We've got a few questions, if you don't mind.
I'm at your service.
What did I get? Oh, I got the liquor.
Come to daddy, darling.
Calling booze darling, it's kind of weird, don't you think?
Says someone who calls his gun collection his harem.
Harem.
Touché. I'll shut it.
Is it harem? Maybe I am wrong.
Birdie.
Okay. Alright. Good old Philmar must know something about Natasha that could be important for the case, but he won't talk until I meet her. He seemed a bit nervous. It must be something really significant. Okay. Oh, okay. My bad. I'm sorry. Name, quote unquote, Philmar Lowe. Species, falcon. Gender, male. Special feature, an absolutely average, forgettable guy. And my old acquaintance from Averia. God, I can't ever remember how to say that. Philmar, the name he goes by nowadays, is an old comrade from before the Clawville times. He's one of the best private eyes in the city, and just like most of them, he gets into trouble with the law pretty often. Yet, he's one of the very few people who can still be trusted in Clawville. I really do like that the more you know about a person and when you actually talk to them and whatnot, the portraits change. Olivia Blackwig. Species, crow. Gender, female. Special feature, unusually tall and slim for a crow. She's quiet and mysterious. Olivia is currently Iben Wessler's assistant and escort. Finding out whether there's anything other than a working relationship between Miss Crow and Mr. Rat could prove valuable.
nice bunker you got here.
Well, thank you, but it's not mine. Not anymore. But I'm sure you already know that. Listen, detective. If you want to know something, please ask straight, huh?
All right, Mr. Wessler, let's make this a bit more professional.
I'm not as exciting as people tend to believe. I grew up in a poor family of many siblings. I'm the only one still alive, unfortunately. My career started with a shoe store, and now, here I am.
I wouldn't call that an average life. Shoe store owner to mob boss.
How dare you speak to Mr. Wessler like that?
Leave it, Olivia, dear. It's just provocation.
I'm sorry if I offended you, Mr. Wessler. Shall we talk about something else?
Everybody knows Mr. Hayworth. He's an antique piece of furniture in this city, so to speak.
Only a bit worn out.
It's not my fault that he's so much in debt, detective, but the name of his family still rings quite loud in Clawville.
Is that still worth anything?
The name is just their name, of course, but the man behind the name is another matter, Mr. Featherland.
You're a pragmatic rat.
Thank you. Look, detective, if you want to know something, just ask.
All right, Mr. Wessler. Has your assistant been working for you long?
Are you talking about me?
Yes, I'm talking about you, ma'am.
Let me answer your question then. I've been in Mr. Wessler's employment for 6 months. Why do you ask?
Oh, just routine questioning, you know. Most of them aren't good for anything. Just killing time.
It sounded rude to me.
Yeah, please forgive a detective. Olivia's a real firecracker.
Do you know the Muffin Man? All right.
Wessler's a tricky guy. Unfortunately, I don't know enough about him, so I have to be cunning. I can't just pin him against a wall. Yet.
Oof. I'm already in the red.
How did you feel when you heard about the blackmail?
Honestly, I found it ridiculous.
And now?
Now I'm kinda interested. But I wouldn't call it blackmail yet. They're just empty threats. There were no demands.
Good point.
Thank you. Are we done?
No, not quite.
I'm sorry to hear that.
You seem a very busy man. May I ask what you do?
It's, uninteresting.
Would you elaborate?
I got a small share in the meat substitute business. If the new product works, maybe we can make your job easier.
You mean reduce predation in Clawville?
There are such plans. If you're interested, talk to Olivia, my assistant. She's an expert in what she does, unlike me.
Thank you. That's it for now.
Okay.
You're very taciturn, Mr. Wessler, though I've heard you're quite the speaker.
Look, I'll gladly talk to anyone about business, and even happier to talk about art. But I'm no fan of interrogation on a night out. Are you even on duty?
Sorry for any offense, Mr. Wessler. Let's talk about something else. Wessler is tougher than I thought, and he's secretive. It's time to gently beat around the bush. Do you spend a lot of your time here?
It's a strange question, you know.
Humor me.
Of course I spend a lot of time here. I'm here every time Natasha performs. Sadly, it's getting rarer.
Is it compatible with your other businesses?
Huh? What? Writing threatening messages and hiding them?
I didn't say that.
You're sly for a foul, Featherland. But this ain't your territory, is it?
I guess not, Mr. Wessler. Business going well, Mr. Wessler?
Depends on which one.
Real estate, catering, charity, protection, extortion, bribing cops, contraband, the usual.
Funny guy.
How are the casinos?
Fine, thank you. Gambling has always been a good business. Luck is expensive around here.
Damn, if only I knew that. I heard gambling was illegal.
And I've heard you're not on the force at the moment.
Then it seems we have a fair fight.
On uneven ground, Mr. Featherland. I'm not sure I'd stand on it for long, if I were you.
That was candid.
I try to be clear.
Alright, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Oh, don't say that to Levy. Levy loves purple. Is everything alright between you and Natasha?
Is everything alright between you and Natasha?
Yeah, you don't beat around the bush, do you? Understandable, I guess. Naturally, our relationship is stable and perfect. I'm the setting, she's the gemstone. If you know what I mean.
I rarely hear such poetry, but I understand exactly what you mean, Mr. Wessler.
So, you have your answer?
No recent friction?
Wouldn't you like to know?
It would make my job easier.
It would only lead you astray. So be glad that I tell you no. No friction.
Ibn is quick-tempered, and I can use that to my advantage. I've confounded and softened him with my previous questions. Now it's time to be specific and ruthless. The mob boss and the pussycat, eh? How did you even meet?
Huh? Are you trying to piss me off, Corpora, so I accidentally let some big secret slip out, huh?
A simple answer would work.
You know, Natasha, she's both connoisseur and muse. How was it? When was it exactly?
You don't remember? That's strange.
Yeah, the millions, of course. It was like another lifetime. It happened right here, only this place was called the Millions back then. She was a dancer. Behind the scenes, I arranged opportunities for her on the big stage. Maybe she still doesn't know it was me. Then one day, I invited her for a drink with a promise that if she was willing to meet me, I'd buy the place for her.
I guess she was willing.
The next day, she had the club in her name.
Well, that is romantic.
There are many kinds of romance, Birdman. There's cheap and there's expensive. You get what you can afford.
I'm going purple when I can. When I dye my hair, I am going purple. So it's going to be the purple head gang.
Do you live in the same house as Natasha?
Oh, you're really something. Natasha's a free woman, but mostly, at my place in Glowtown. But she has her own kind of a weekend house.
How often does she use the weekend house?
Every other weekend. Roughly.
I see. That's very important information.
If you say so.
Hell yeah, Perp Squad. I'm saying this.
So Natasha feels like she's in grave danger, yet she's still going out alone.
I know what you're getting at, but I'm 100% sure of her loyalty. She's gone out very rarely since this started, and mostly in my company. You know, I'm not sure if you do, but in our social circles, banquets and dinners are frequent.
Illegal gambling nights.
You got me there. Yeah, you're right. Natasha is crazy about the roulette wheel.
Always putting it all on the red, right?
Yeah, you're a real rotten bastard, Sonny. Although, yeah, always on the red. Yeah, right.
So, can we meet your lady?
I don't see why not. But first, please, listen to her sing. She's on soon.
Nice. Alright. Did pretty good. Ibn's trying very hard to change the subject when it comes to the threats. He obviously knows more than he's willing to tell.
Thank you for your time. We'll be seeing you.
I have no doubt about that, unfortunately.
Hey, we should, grab a coffee or something, Olivia. You know, for old time's sake.
Okay, good luck.
Pleasure to meet you, gentlemen. Goodbye.
Oh.
Please, take a seat. The show's gonna start soon.
Whoa! Ooh. Wow.
Sonny.
Chloe's still lying in my bed, and it's dead.
Huh.
That was, unique.
Oh, that is cute. Nobody has ever given me such a unique compliment before.
Forgive me, my name is Santino Featherland.
I thought so. You look more or less like I imagined.
More or less?
Sometimes less is more, Mr. Featherland.
You were amazing, dear. As always.
Could you be my little furball and fetch me a cocktail?
But of course.
With all due respect, ma'am, we're not that easy to get rid of. Doesn't matter who's trying, believe me.
Full notes right there.
Doesn't matter, he'll do it. That's why I'm telling you. I don't want a scene. My room's upstairs. Meet me there in 20 minutes. Come alone, Sonny. You'd be too conspicuous otherwise.
Hey.
I understand. You know, they call him Target Marty at the station.
I don't have time, Mr. Featherland.
Sure thing, Natasha. I'll come to your room. 3 knocks, a short pause, then another 3.
I'll be waiting. Go, before he comes back.
I knew she was trouble the first time I saw her. She wore danger like a perfume. It was simply part of her being.
Glad you're back.
And it attracted me, like light attracts the moth people. I wanted to be the microphone as she whispers her melodies, or the pillow she rests her feet on while reading some cheap romance. I wanted to be her nightdress, barely touching, barely covering her marble skin.
Well then.
But I was a cop, and a lifetime wouldn't be enough to rid myself of what a woman like her hides under her makeup. Keep your distance, Sonny. Just keep your distance.
Is that a nude of herself?
picture. And kind of daring. I admit I've never seen anything quite like it before.
Yes, I admit it's a little daring. I keep it. It evokes good memories. A precious old friend of mine. A most wonderful artist.
He's got an eye, that's for sure, considering his model.
Was that supposed to be some kind of compliment?
I don't know. I don't compliment often. Not on purpose, anyway.
Oh, you're funny.
Huh. Okay. Alright. Let's look at the notes. Ibn's trying very hard to change the subject when it comes to the threats. He obviously knows more than he's willing to tell. Natasha's portrait. Back up. Oh, good. Ibn's currently busy with some kind of meat substitute business. That's what he and his assistant told us anyway. Ibn was acting quite strange and hesitated when I mentioned how he met Natasha. It would be interesting to hear the story from another point of view. I already read that. Alright,
I bet you spend a lot of your time staring into the mirror. Do you even recognize yourself?
Maybe.
I was just trying to be rude.
Wait.
I bet you spend a lot of your time staring into the mirror.
I accidentally
Do you
clicked,
even
sorry.
recognize yourself?
Maybe you were trying to be rude, but, you know, that's a very good question.
I was just trying to be rude.
Oh, really? Well, then I'm sorry.
Don't mention it.
Alright, let's talk to Natasha. Well, let's
This
look at her.
woman's aware of her charm, and she knows how to use it. A rare and dangerous combination.
How do you like your bourbon, Mr. Featherland?
In a glass. But thanks, I had a couple before I came. I feel like this may be a long night.
I hope it doesn't bother you if I have one myself.
I get offended if women don't drink in my company.
Oh, you are a funny guy.
So I've been told. Anyway, lovely room.
Yes. Look, Mr. Featherland.
It's sunny. Saves us a lot of time.
Okay, Sonny.
So, why am I here?
You know, men tend to babble in my presence.
It must be exhausting.
It is. But you're not the type to beat around the bush.
Is it too banal if I tell you it's an occupational hazard?
Terribly.
So can I start the unpleasant questions?
I've asked you here so you can do what you do best.
Really? I thought you asked because you wanted me to investigate for you. But if you'd rather be drinking...
Oh, you do have a sense of humor. How reassuring.
Only if I'm a bit hungover. That's usually quite common.
Oh, please drop the act about being the alcoholic, heartbroken ex-cop, Sonny. It would undoubtedly suit you, but I've seen you scanning my room. From the second you set foot in here, you started working, and everything I say gets sorted in your brain. Am I right?
That's a bit of an exaggeration, but yeah, it's something like that.
Well then, Sonny, come at me.
Oh, that's something I don't hear often. With pleasure.
Well then.
Natasha is a confident woman. I can exploit that. But I must be careful. Every part of her oozes danger. That was a remarkable performance.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Do you perform here frequently? You're also the owner, if I'm not mistaken.
Sadly, I don't have the time. But this stage still calls my name, and I perform just a few times a year, and always with a new song.
So that was all the excitement.
I have many admirers, if that's what you mean. Yes.
The place is very elegant, and so's your room.
Why, thank you.
I kind of feel like I'm in a museum.
Well, that depends on the kind of museum.
The kind with nice things.
Oh.
Suspiciously nice things, just like you.
Do you think I'm suspicious?
We'll see about that.
Try me.
What can you tell me about Ibn Wessler?
You should be more specific. What do you want to know?
Ah, shoot. Wow. I'm not saying that.
How did you meet Ibn, if I'm not too intrusive?
Of course you're intrusive, but I guess that's an occupational hazard.
Well, yes.
I was a dancer here in the club, in Anita Jenkins' chorus. When she was in a good mood and allowed it, sometimes I even did her vocals for her, although she thought I was an upstart little whore.
How does Ibn treat you nowadays?
Like a prince treats a princess. Maybe that sounds like a cliché.
A little.
He holds me in the hollow of his hand. He always has. He's never hurt me. He couldn't. Recently, he's been a bit distracted and nervous, but there's heavy weight on his shoulders right now. That's why I didn't want to burden him with any of this.
Distant and nervous. Could you elaborate?
Ibn is devoted and attentive. He sends someone every hour to ask me if everything's all right.
Huh.
But I can't even remember a time when we were together. Just the two of us. Recently, he spends a lot of time here and in other clubs. When he's with me, he's nervous and preoccupied.
Why is that? Don't you think it's strange?
I don't think it has anything to do with the threats. It started earlier.
Any ideas about a cause?
None. Maybe it's stress. Ibn's working on doing more and more of business legally. That's kind of hard for someone like him.
Is he trying to get himself out of the underworld?
Maybe.
That's interesting. Thank you. Deep behind the diamond skin lies the truth. It doesn't matter how hard Natasha's trying to hide it. She's scared. Now I must concentrate to finally find out what I want to know. What was in those threats, exactly?
The message itself is not a threat. It's just a word.
But a word again and again is threatening.
Exactly.
So?
You really don't have any idea which word could be used for a woman like me?
I guess I do. Yes, I think I know what it could be.
Whore. Cat got your tongue? Am I right? You heard it. I said what you were thinking. And yes, that was in the message. That was printed on the paper and painted on my wall in giant red letters.
Well, thank you for your honesty.
I'm not gonna ask about that. It's one of these two, I think. I think I'm gonna go with the no one's ever seen the culprit, not even a shadow. Yeah, you know what? Yeah.
Could the threats have anything to do with the dangerous relationship between you?
You mean I'm a cat and he's a rat?
Every interracial relationship has risk. But yes, this one's more conspicuous than most.
Clawville's a very open and free city, but I guess you see more radical transgressions than I do.
One of the most common causes in homicidal and predatory cases, ma'am. So, yes.
Well, I don't know about that. Nobody ever questioned our relationship openly. We are what we are. And you know, if you're interested in my personal feelings, danger fills our relationship with a flavor no other can replace.
It must be one interesting relationship, that's for sure. I'm not sure I can feel the same, but I can certainly understand it.
Maybe one day you'll experience it, Sonny. Have you ever been with a predator before?
Well...
Well...
That's unsteady ground, Natasha. Let's turn the questioning around if you don't mind.
As you wish, Sonny.
Yeah, it might just be just the eating.
How many fools like me have you used up, Natasha?
In all my life? Well...
I just forget it. I don't want to know. Curiosity killed the cat. No pun intended.
I'm just joking. You're not a fool, Sonny. I know that was supposed to be a kind of insult, but it usually rolls right off me. I can't take cock-a-doodling, so you can put aside the strutting stuff while you're talking to me.
Fair point. Broadcast received, ma'am. Natasha is a mysterious woman, but I must gouge out at least one of her secrets. Enough games. It's time to know why I'm here. Let's stop beating about the bush. How do you know Molly?
I'm prepared for that question, but it's still not easy.
You knew very well that if you threw in the name of my wife, I'd come to you no matter how vague and suspicious the case was. I just want to know if you're simply a manipulator or you're really that desperate.
I really know her. I'm not lying.
Oh, really? How? Were you a nurse, too? Forgive me, but I don't think so.
Don't be rude and so cynical, Sonny.
I'm sorry, but that's me when feline claws are at my throat.
Molly is an old and good friend of mine. She has nothing to do with this, but I knew that if I didn't mention it to you, you wouldn't have come.
Yeah, Natasha, you're right there.
I knew you were a decent fowl, that you would help me. That's what you're famous for.
Don't go there. Flattery doesn't work.
Look, forgive me. I shouldn't have brought your wife into this.
You're right, you shouldn't have. But to be honest, I don't think she's my wife anymore. On paper she is, but I haven't seen her in years.
I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Really?
I did. I knew. I checked you out before I sent Deborah.
Cluck me. This case is getting more and more intriguing. You played me from the start, didn't you?
It wasn't my intention.
I'm an old cock, Natasha. I've played too many of these games, and I've been on the losing side often enough.
So, you're going to walk away?
You're damn right. I don't know if it's worth it for me.
Look, Sonny, money's not an issue.
Oh yeah, your fawn had already mentioned that. But unfortunately, it'll be hard to spend all that dough when I'm dead.
Dead? Don't even say that.
Do you have a gun?
Me?
Of course you, Natasha. Do you have it on you?
Not at the moment.
Well, let me give you some advice. Keep it with you, always. Maybe in your purse.
You don't think they, whoever they are, would hurt me?
Don't be naive, Natasha.
I was gonna say.
You're right. I'll keep it with me.
I don't want to scare you, but 2 cops snooping around can mess something like this up, even if it's just 2 roosters.
You keep snooping? Thank you, Sonny.
Maybe you're getting yourself into even deeper trouble with me. Thank me when this is all over.
Very pretty green eyes. So we'll do it. Leave it at this.
One more thing, Sonny.
Natasha?
Please, come to 37 Rochester Street in Flower Town tonight. I'd like to show you something that could be of a great help in your investigation.
I was afraid this was coming. Why there? Why not here and now?
It's something I keep hidden there. I won't take the risk of Ibn or one of his men seeing it.
Isn't Ibn too dangerous to keep secrets from?
Sonny, a woman is naked without her secrets. I knew you would understand.
Oh yeah, I understand everything. So, when do we meet? The night is almost over.
I'll be there in an hour. Don't be early, and don't be too late.
Look, Natasha, you know...
Please, this is very important to me.
Sure, I get it. I'll be there.
Thank you.
Until later, Natasha.
Goodbye, Sonny.
You know what? So we got a key. I think we are gonna leave it at that for tonight. This was way more interesting than I thought it was gonna be. Like, way more interesting. I don't even know. I don't even know. It's a really good game. But yeah, this is where we're gonna leave it for today. Damn, that was good. That was real good. Yeah, and I don't know what I missed. She was very all over the place. Very, very all over the place. But we'll do another stream of this next week. Maybe. Same. It was nice to meet you all. Hopefully you guys hang out in my streams more often. It'd be pretty cool. But yeah, if you like what I do, what all these other lovely people have done today, you can follow me on Twitch, or you can follow me on my Twitter for my random ramblings and whatnot. Or just hear me, ramble on stream, depending on what I'm doing. This one was more of a very chill, just like kind of try to figure out what's going on in the whole Clawville universe, I guess. And I do a lot of random games. I do play with my friends every once in a while. We've played Uno before. We do Phasmo. We do Final Fantasy. When we do Phasmo, I'm usually the one screaming my head off because I'm a big chicken. But other than that, I also play just random mini games. When I get my office moved in to where it needs to be, I will be back to painting miniatures as well. But you can also check out my shop if you wanted. You know, I have some nerdy mugs and some miniatures already pre-painted. Other than that, if you like what I do but you want to help monetarily, you can do that on my tip jar, but it is not necessary. Just sharing my channel and just watching helps tremendously. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got. I really appreciate everything and everybody tuning in today. This was really fun. This was a really good game. The raid actually really brought up my mood. But yeah, that was really cool. And I think in there was my Discord link as well, but that's also on my Twitch profile if you wanted to join my server. And there we have pictures of pets. We have screenshots from games. We have you know, food spam where we talk about what foods we'd make, D&D, all crazy stuff. But yeah, this was fun. This is a really, really, really good day, and I needed this, and I appreciate it wholeheartedly. But anyway, I'm gonna stop rambling. Thank you all so very, very much for tuning in. Much love. Make sure you tell everybody that you love in your life that you love them, and I will talk to you all another day. Have a good night.